With Phase 3 data mining already underway, we have recorded a discussion for our DPS tier list, and it's a discussion between pretty much my entire guild. A lot of them are top 100 in whatever class they play, whether it be Hunter, Warlock, me for Shadow, etc. And so these are some of the top people for the classes, and then we're going to be commenting on what we think the class is going to be like in Phase 3, specifically for progression. If you like the style of video, make sure you let me know in the comments below. If you don't, also let me know. Make sure you like and share the video. If you are a tank or healer, we have also already recorded that video, and you can find that on my channel as well. So without further ado, I'm going to unmute in Discord and let the chaos ensue. Okay, so let's go. It is going to be first Druid. Let's start with Feral Druid. Let's see.
I like how he doesn't even introduce us. What the fuck?
I already did.
Hello?
Also,
hello.
syllable Druid.
This is the only podcast where the host, he mutes up, does the intro, and then unmutes, so we're completely clueless as what the hell's going on.
Because guys, don't let me pause to actually record the intro.
Alright, go. Okay. Druid.
So, first Druid changes is Omen of Clarity is going to be changed, so it's not just melee attacks, it's also the non-instant spell casts. We're getting some changes to the previous runes, which is what? Lacerate cost no rage from Berserk. Let's see what else. Other rune changes is Living Seed is with non-periodic healing spells. That's for healers.
Ooh, wait, hold on. Is it turned to periodic healing now?
With any non-periodic healing, is whenever you create. This is for healing, though. We already went over healing. Doesn't matter. Okay. I mean, you can bring it up for Restokin, but let's just. I guess, yeah, Restokin actually matters. Gore, striking a target with Lacerate, Swipe, or Maul has a 15% chance to reset the cooldown on Mangle and grant 10 Rage. Berserk, Lacerate cost no change. What else? I think that's it for actual changes. Let's see the new.
Right, go back to hold on. Go back to that one though. Even though this is the DPS, I want to read that out again for the Living Bloom.
For Living Seed. When you critically heal your target with any non-periodic healing spell, you plant a living...
No, hold on. Did they add that non-periodic? That's always how it was, I thought. Or am I tripping?
So it's because you can now heal with a hot and it'll crit because of another rune.
Yep.
That they had to add that very specific clarification in now.
So it no longer does it just any healing spell. It's specifically non-healing, non-periodic spells.
Fucking hell.
So it's a nerf to Rest Toucher.
That's a nerf, bro. Hello? What the hell?
Yeah. But, that's the reason, part of the reason why we put it so low in the previous tier list. But in terms of new runes for DPS, we have Gale Winds for Boomkins, which increases your hurricane damage by 100%. No longer has a cooldown, and its mana cost is reduced by 20%. And you get yeah, RP and mana cost. But Gore as well is striking a target with Lacerate, Swipe, or Maul has a 15% chance to reset the cooldown on Mangle and grant 10 Rage. Striking a target with Mangle for Cat or Shred has a 5% chance to reset the cooldown on Tiger's Fury. That's for the Helm slot. You also get improved Bard Skin, but realistically you shouldn't be using that as a DPS, so we're not going to cover it. In terms of your wrist slots for Boomkin, you get Elun's Fires, which is some of your spell's abilities extend the duration of your damage and healing over time effects on their target, which is Starfire extends Moonfire by 6 seconds, Wrath extends Sunfire by 3 seconds, Regrowth extends Rejuvenation by 6 seconds, Shred extends Rip by 2 seconds, and each effect can only be extended up to 3 times. In terms of Feral, I mean, really, your only option is, like, also, I guess, Loon Fired for Shred with Rip, but I guess Improved Frenzy Regeneration is just kind of meh for Feral Druids, I assume. But we'll go over that in a second. Let's quickly go over the spell ranks. So from 40, let's see, we get a new rank of Fairy Fire, new rank of Starfire over there, but let's scroll up to 50. 50, new rank of Ravage, new Mark of the Wild, new Starfire, new Hurricane, losing out on a Rip, losing out on a Moonfire, losing out on a Rejuvenation. Like a new Claw rank at 48, which I don't think actually matters that much. Ferocious Bite at 48, Tiger's Fury at 48, Tranquility. Yeah. How's it looking, Mangler? And I think someone else wanted to comment on it too, but Mangler? How's Feral Druid?
Not much different.
But don't you guys get a leader of the pack and Inferno?
Well, there's a couple options. You can go the second tier in balance for the 10% increased fizz damage.
Where's that?
In the balance tree.
That's
The balance tree.
balance, yeah.
Yeah, that
Ah,
one right there. The weapon.
wouldn't that cut you out of power shifting though? Unless you just didn't take a leader of the pack.
Yeah, you don't take leader.
That's
Wait, why would you not? That's so troll, bro. We give you 10 extra fucking talent points, and you're still not gonna go talent leader of the pack? How much
I'll
DPS
probably
loss
play
was
it
that?
because I'm not a selfish prick.
I
but-
know you're not, but like, what? So what would be the argument that you don't use leader? What do you get? Sorry.
You get 10% fizz damage.
Dude, get the fuck out of here. Of course they're gonna go for that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
yeah,
dumb, bro.
waste 5 points in the first
Hold on,
one
hold
just
on,
so
hold
they
on.
can get a
So-
10%.
The 5 points don't matter.
Yeah, so that's fine. That's fine. But hold on. And then can't you take something out of Fury? Like, could we take 1 point out of Fury, or like do a full spec row
Yeah.
here, right quick?
What's the
Do a
full spec?
right quick.
I mean, you don't even get. Yeah, it's not all the way down. Just do anything down feral.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It basically
Yeah,
just
just
ignore. I'm just
percent.
trying to get down to
Well, it's-
fucking bottom of feral.
Yep.
Put
Okay.
5 in fur. Put 5.
No. Put
And
4
then
in the
put
Fury.
balance in. Put balance in.
I mean, you still can't finish
But
it
this-
with
this is-
fur.
Yeah,
Fur.
so you would
All
so you would take 5. This is so dumb, bro. So
No,
Feral's
it-
kind of
it's
getting
balance.
cucked. Feral's getting cucked.
Well,
Well, if they go,
no, the raid is.
S-
The feral's fine.
so their
Well,
choices
I mean, you
is either that or that.
will say what's that? You know, the people at the car, they don't know.
Sorry, it's either 1 point in fur or 1 point in leader of the pack. If they're going to go down to get natural weapons from the balance tree, which requires you to put 10 points into it, basically your
But hold
10
on.
points that you're getting in phase
If
3.
they were going, but if they're going to go into Fur, they would take it 1 out of leader of the pack, and they'd take some out of the feral tree as well. I'm assuming they wouldn't go that deep in order to get Fur, right?
Yeah, you
England?
would take natural weapons and fear and 4 gold leader and 4 from Heart of the Wild.
Yeah. So you would take shit out of the feral tree, so you can get it into Fur.
So we don't want Heart of the Wild, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd
So
be
they would
that
be ripping that shit out.
and that, and just one in Heart of the Wild, I guess? Or do you want
You
Omen
don't
of
think
Clarity?
Omen?
Or you could go Omen. You can go Omen, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty troll.
Yes, it is.
Okay, how about the runes? How is Gore?
5%, it's fucking more RNG, which is stupid. Super low chance, too, so. On a short cooldown already, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem very good to me.
Okay, how about Alun's Fires? Your shred extends for by 2
Absolutely
seconds.
garbage. Absolutely garbage.
Okay, well, for Feral, if you were to put it onto a tier list, where would you put it? I'll just change this actually.
Don't forget, they're also getting the 2 data mined items.
Yep,
They're
you're also
the
getting
rep
2.
items.
Yep. I don't remember.
They show the
where
items because I heard some rumor that they're gonna still need a crowd pummeler. Is that a meme or is that true?
No,
Like
they
that-
won't.
No, they won't.
With that catnip, they don't.
So-
Catnip and that.
So by getting honored with Emerald Wardens, they get an on-use, a 3-minute cooldown, increase your attack speed by 50% for 30 seconds,
Oh, okay.
and
yeah.
then they also
Why don't
get
stack it all, man?
a unique helm enchant, which causes you to gain 20 energy or 5 rage when shape-shifting into cat or bear form. So basically, it kind of gives you fur.
40. Yeah, well, on top of the 40.
They're still gonna
It's-
use it.
Stacks with fur.
Yeah.
so-
Oh, it stacks
Yeah, I was
with.
gonna
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Wait,
Yeah,
don't
that's
they
how it
have?
worked in
Don't they
class.
have the actual helm itself though? Can you get that yet or no?
No.
Good.
You will
yeah.
next phase.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, it should.
Oh, what if,
Oh
what
my
if you
Jesus
could get like
Christ.
100
90
energy?
energy. Let's go.
I doubt that's going to stack, though.
It's probably not, but
No,
This
probably
is
not.
an enchant, right?
Yeah, I
If
assume.
it doesn't stack, that
Yeah,
basically
nah, this-
fixes our problem, right?
Yeah, I assume if it doesn't stack, the point of it is to try to make it so that that's not just the Biz helm for ferals permanently.
Right. Right. Agreed.
Okay, so where would you put Feral on a tier list? Mainly.
A sphere.
Or
A.
The rogue.
Or
You still need him, so it depends, right? You still need him for fucking, regardless of how
Yeah,
good
Wind
it is,
Fury.
you will always need it. For Wind
Alliance
Fury
would
for
make it-
Alliance. Alliance
The
is going
only
to be
thing I would
a
do
tier
is
higher.
put it in the needed tier, and that is literally.
There you go. I like that. 'Cause
But it's different, right? Like Alliance is needed.
Yeah, that's what I mean for
Take
Alliance.
away.
Yeah.
okay,
So
so
you need two of them, not just one.
Make C tier a needed tier, or make an extra tier and call it needed, or required in raid, or something like that, right?
Specifically for Alliance, right?
okay, so for Horde, where would you put it?
Or probably like
The
B.
Horde.
B tier.
Yeah, depending on how.
I think it's C tier for Horde
Yeah, I would say I
and
would.
needed for Alliance. Like you still would bring Ferals
I'm just gonna
over like
uh,
Feral Cats over a Feral Tank.
ignore the
So-
tank. Just pretend it's for DPS. But I'm just putting it in its own tier if needed for Alliance. And then where would you put it for Horde?
Either B or C. Maybe like low B, high
That's
C.
Yeah.
probably where I would put it. Yeah.
I say C. It looks pitiful.
Yo, pull up Mangler's
I
logs so
agree.
these people know that this guy's not just a random fucking druid in the
the
streets.
Mangler.
The Mangler. You have to put the. He is the Mangler, bro.
Yeah, not just any old.
This guy
Joe
is a
Schmo,
fucking
buddy.
crackhead, okay? So if you don't think that this guy knows his shit, bro, okay, this guy's talking straight facts.
Yeah, that rank 4 with leader of the pack providing utility to the raid.
So
Yeah, as
So
long as
on
you're.
leader,
Of course, if there's enhancement shamans, there's no place for Ferals, right, on the Horde?
Yeah.
We
They
agree
don't
with
take
that?
Feral.
I agree on that.
okay, so who wants to comment on balance? Balance got a new rank of Starfire. They lose out on
I mean, I
Moonfire
can, I
Bearers.
guess.
Okay, what would you say for balance then?
I mean, it's not amazing. It's going to be amazing for Restokin because of the omen changes, right?
True.
But other than that, bounce is there for the 20% nature increase buff and the crit.
Okay.
So you'll need one for every raid, unfortunately.
I
But
mean,
for
yeah,
Horde
it's
and
again,
Alliance,
yeah, you both need it because you get the dream state for the 20% extra nature
Yeah.
damage, and that's going to be beautiful because a lot of hunters are going to be probably moving more towards, potentially moving towards range. And then also you have rogues that are actually starting to become viable, so you're going to
And then
definitely
again,
want a
it's the
boom
same
cannon
thing
every
that
raid.
we
So
just
where
argue with the Feral.
would you put it then?
I mean, needed for. I
Needed
would
for
say
Alliance.
needed
That's
for
just
both.
needed in
unfortunately.
general.
Oh yeah, if it's needed for
no,
both.
but you only
they're-
bring in
they're
one.
less- They're less needed as the Horde side because the enhancement again applies the 20% nature buff.
Oh my
The
god,
Stormtrooper
dude.
do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Dude,
Storm.
Does
Horde,
Dude,
I
this is
fucking hate
RIP,
Horde, bro.
man.
What is this
Again,
shit?
It all depends on their damage. So if
Oh
their
my God,
damage is
Shaman
viable, you
OP.
would bring them. But if they're not viable, then you
Needed
could
for
bring another.
Alliance.
You could bring like another fire
Need it
mage,
for
or
Alliance.
another
Need it for Alliance.
damage that replaces the.
So, but I mean, I know we're not talking about this, but honestly, you'll bring a Restokin. That's just where it'll land. One of
Yeah.
your healers will turn to this, and then it's like A tier at that point. If they can heal and do all these accessories, it's great.
Yeah, especially for Prague. To the Prague list, so yeah, they'll be wanted. It's a great point.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to, well, might as well do Rogue because it's next up. Or actually, let's take a look. Actually, let's look at.
It's
No,
usually
Hunter.
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 Hunter's usually
Yep.
after.
You're right. Okay, so Hunter changes. So True Shot aura changes instead of just being attack power for melee. It's also it's attack power
Fuck
party
yeah.
members and increases their
And we also
ranged
get
attack
more.
power.
We get more ranged attack power on top of it.
It's
yeah.
well, no. It's in general. It's 50 attack power for melee and 50 attack power for ranged. No.
Hell yeah.
No, I think it's 45 for or what
No, it
50
says
for
here.
everybody, and then also 50 for the hunter. So I think they double dip if they're. I don't even know how it works, but
There was a rune. I
It's
could
both.
have swore. Yeah, we'll keep looking, but I thought there was something more deeper in. But we'll look at it later. Hold on.
Okay. This
Yeah, that's nice.
no changes
A
to
little
that.
bit of love to range.
No changes to that. A little bit of 15% increase for steady shot, 60 to 75%
Yeah,
weapon.
we've already seen that, and it's still fucking ass.
Okay. Those are all new. Sniper training. Sniper training got a little slight rework.
Yes.
So
A
sniper.
rework slight. It's perfect. It's a beautiful rework.
Let
Now,
me
it's
read
not
it.
like
Let me
you would
read it.
see-
So,
All right, read it.
sniper training. Your shot abilities gain 2% increased critical strike chance while you have not moved for the last 2 seconds, stacking every second up to 5 times. While moving, you will lose 1 stack. While before, it was you just gained 10% crit chance if you have not moved for the last
Instantly.
6 seconds.
Correct. And it punished you very heavily for moving. So it was very, very brutal. It was either you had it or you didn't. And as soon as you made the smallest little slight adjustment, you completely lost your buff for the next 6 seconds. Now, it's not as good as it is in, say, Wrath or in Kata, because that one's beautiful. You basically get the full buff, and then you have like a 14-second buff, and you have whatever amount of time within that 14 seconds to stand still for 6 seconds again. But this is a good happy medium. You're gonna see hunters. I'm really curious how this works. It says for every second you move, you lose 1 stack. So does that mean I can stutter step? Like, you know how you normally would stutter step hunters, right? Maybe if I'm stutter stepping and I'm not moving for a full 1 second, maybe we're not gonna lose that buff. And if so, I love it. I love that. That would be so cool.
Okay, is anything else change?
Change.
Nah. Whoa, wait, what the hell?
Oh yeah, lava breath.
No,
Potentially we're getting
pause,
a new pet.
Pause that.
Oh, okay.
True
okay.
shot aura,
Yeah.
but this
Yes,
one's a
This is what I'm
75.
talking about. Yeah. So these are just the ranks, right? These are just extra ranks of True Shot aura.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have
The
this
lava
one,
breath?
so you're gonna have 75. Got it.
Yeah, but look at the lava breath though. Potentially core hounds? Question mark? Or maybe
True.
another new ability for a hunter melee. Maybe. I don't know.
No.
I see them more into it being a pet.
Well, this requires hunter, and it costs 50 focus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Focus is pet, no?
Yeah, that's pet.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm retarded. Yeah.
So that would be a pet. Breeze molten lava the target, instantly dealing 80 to 93 fire damage, reducing the
Yeah.
target's casting speed by 25% for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's basically a thunderclap, right?
I don't know if it's the same.
Thundercrap is for melee, for physical. So it's
Yeah, this is
it's a
casting speed,
caster,
so this is
Thundercrap.
Curse of Tongues.
Oh, casting speed. Yes, right.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how all this will interact with that new priest void eye thing. But
Yeah, what? Okay, so for Hunter, let's go ahead and let's look at the abilities real quick. Hunter, down to 40. Let's see. You get natural armor, another rank of serpent sting, great stamina.
natural
think-
armor. Hold on. What the hell is natural
Armor.
armor? That's for your pet.
That's for your
Yeah,
That's
this is for a pet.
Yeah.
Multi-shot, I'm pretty sure that's the last rank. Yeah, you get multi-shot at 42, and that's like your highest rank.
Oh my
It's
god.
very unfortunate. I think same thing with
Bruh.
explosive trap at 44.
Holy shit.
Arcane.
Which is dumb because you know what? That's horrible because that's what they want you to play a range hunter with that new rune, which we're gonna talk about probably. You get every time you pop your trap down, you get an extra free ability. So if I'm using a level 44 trap,
44.
yeah.
And then arcane
Yeah,
shot is at 40 at 44 as well. Immo trap is at 46.
Yeah.
If you
But
get 44, go to ZF though.
I'd
bro.
probably use Immo Trap, but there's so many dual bosses that
Yeah.
man,
aspect of the wilds you finally get. That'll.
I really don't. I mean,
I mean,
don't
it'll
wanna
help
use-
first.
You know what? We're gonna be forced
DPS
to do
loss.
that,
Yeah,
bro.
DPS.
I know.
loss.
You know what? They're gonna fucking spread one of each of our hunters out into each group, and they're gonna be like, "I but on the aspect of the wild, we need it for the acid breath." Oh my god.
You
Finally,
get,
something from Menagerie.
you get a new aspect of the hawk at level 48, but if you're using True Shot Aura, True Shot Aura, I guess.
Oh no, that's different.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
True
got
Shot is
aspect of the
different.
hawk at 48. Another
Alright,
natural
take it.
armor. Another rank of Raptor Strike at 48.
Oh, but that's perfect. Raptor Strike.
For
You
melee.
want that for the melee hunter.
For
God
melee
damn
hunter.
it, bro.
At 50, you get another rank of Volley, another rank of Serpent Sting. That's really nice.
Volley's a 1 minute CD unless they change that. We need that to be changed because that shit's
Yeah.
ass. And then, what did you say? What was the other one?
Another ring of Serpent Sting if only everything in Sunken Temple
Okay.
wasn't resistant to nature damage.
Well, it won't be. It won't be. They'll 100% do what they did to like the mechanicals. You know, they're gonna just make it a high resistant.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we could get a good snapshot on that, like I'm wondering if we can get a good snapshot on that. That also scales our Chimera shot. So
I was gonna say Chimera Shot's also nature damage.
yeah, but dude, we'll see how it
It'll
goes,
be fine.
bro.
Okay.
Get Warriors.
So now for runes, let's take a look at runes. First one, cat-like reflexes, increases your chance to dodge by 20% and your pet's chance to dodge by 9%. Hunter tanks, question mark. In addition, reduces the cooldown of your kill command and flanking strike abilities by 50%. That's crazy. Incorrect.
Oh, I really like that. That kind of gives us less slot machine for
Sure.
our flanking. So it is kind of nice.
True. Lock and load. Each time one of your traps is triggered, your next shot ability within 20 seconds costs no mana and does not incur a cooldown.
Yes, I like that, but they should have done it. We should be able to get 3, just like in Wrath or Kata. It should have been 3 shots, so you basically can do, 3 chimeras or 3 explosives in a row. That would have been better.
Rapid killing reduces the cooldown on rapid fire by 2 minutes, and your next shot ability within 20 seconds after killing a target worth experience or honor deals 20% increased damage. For reference,
20% increased damage.
for
Yeah, no, that's your Wrath talent.
Where
Kata talent.
it's at 26, right? You get that?
It basically just ripped out a fucking Kata talent book and.
So it goes down to a 3-minute cooldown.
Yeah, I know, but when your speed, is this good even for Prog? I don't know. It depends. Maybe for Prog, but once you get the times down, there's no boss that's going to be 3 minutes unless it's some racked. Maybe
There will be.
boss or
There'll be
something.
2 of them.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a few bosses, but
I mean, if bosses have adds, your next shot ability within 20 seconds, 20% more damage.
yeah, we'll have to see where the ad shit.
I mean,
comes into
dungeons
play.
is really that's what it's for.
Oh yeah, no, that would be really nice for dungeons and whatnot.
Oh, Momo, show Dies Lock so they know that we're talking to a Joe Schmo.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Don't
God.
show my logs, please. I have not gotten
Show
it.
Daquan.
No. Don't show me.
Yeah, there he
No,
is.
no.
Look at
Dude,
those
don't
oranges.
look at those last 2, bro. It's not my fault.
That bottom one, see, not locked in. It was purple before tonight.
Shit.
This
No,
guy.
it wasn't you.
Okay. Who's the other hunter? Did we have another? We had another hunter, I thought. Yeah, Teps.
That's my boy.
And the other hunter.
Yeah, that looks a little better. That looks a little better.
Okay, other slot. Wrist slot. Focus fire. Consumes all applications of frenzy from your pet, increasing your ranged
Yummy.
attack speed by 3%,
Yum, 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 yum.
and granting
me.
4 focus to your pet for each application of frenzy it
Yeah.
consumed. Last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Your
This
pet
is
gains
fucked.
frenzy each time it uses a basic attack, increasing its melee
Uh-huh.
attack speed by 6% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5
So,
times. Wait, real quick.
Does this how? Yeah, I know the talent. Look at the
No,
frenzy.
for real quick, so
does that-
frenzy.
How does that work?
Well, let's see how much. So it's consuming frenzy, right?
No. But in the rune itself, it says that it's giving the pet frenzy on top of what? On top of the frenzy in the tree as well? Because imagine
No,
you're
consume.
not spec BM. Yeah. No, but read the bottom of the. Read it. Your pet gains frenzy each time it uses. So is this a separate instance of frenzy?
Wait,
Does that mean can
could
I
you
use
pin-
this during I'm MM spec? You know what I mean? How is this gonna work with the current talent tree?
Consumes.
There's no shot. There's a rune that only uses if you have a certain talent, right? That seems a little
Gain
bit troll.
4 focus to your pet for each
I
application.
think it's a
Anything
whole
like
separate
warrior,
frenzy.
it won't
I think it's
stack.
separate,
imagine-
yeah. Well, okay, I think
think
the
it's
first
separate.
half,
So your pet-
consumes it and gives it to you. The second
So what-
half is each time
Yeah.
your pet uses a basic attack, it gets a stack of frenzy.
Exactly. So I think it's just gonna give nuts. So if you have that talented and you have that rune, your pet's gonna be getting frenzy so insanely fast. I think that's what they're trying to get at. It's a whole separate.
What's the
instance.
cooldown on this?
I don't know.
Because I mean, I don't think it matters if it's.
I don't think there's going to be a cooldown. More so, it's like you have a buff on you, and you can only use
Okay,
buff so frequently, right?
so frenzy is good. Is a 30% attack speed bonus for your pet for 8 seconds after dealing a critical strike. This one is just straight up every single time it uses a
Every
melee
single one.
attack. It
but you're going to be
gets
getting
a
extra
stack.
frenzy stack.
And it's a stacks. Now this one didn't stack. This one just straight up. So you get stacks of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just extra stacks.
So that's
But
insane.
how long's the buff on the hunter? How long's the buff?
20.
Because 20 seconds. So it's you don't really need so many frenzy stacks because you're only going to be using this once every 20 seconds once you get a full frenzy stack, right? That's the thing, right? So you're going to be over frenzy stacking yourself. So basically what it's allowing us to do I think, is just unspec out of the Frenzy and the BM tree. But then if you're gonna unspec out of Frenzy and the BM tree, what are you really gonna give? Like, what are you gonna respec in the BM tree if you're gonna go that deep? What it's doing is you could probably now rock Marksman Hunter, and now you have Frenzy. You can rock Survival Hunter, and now you have Frenzy, right? So that's just it's giving us one of the exactly. It's giving us one of the best things in the BM tree and allowing it to distribute across the other two trees.
Yeah, it's a direct buff to marksmanship. That's the whole
Correct.
point of it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Saito's here now. Okay, so we can shout out Saito's locks. Another hunter that's commenting.
His name is Jizz Cool now, alright?
Okay. Well, I'm showing that. So
And from YouTube.
So second one in the wrist slot is Raptor Fury, which is the melee one, I think. Yep. Raptor Strike increases damage done by Raptor Strike increases damage done by Raptor Strike and Mongoose by 15% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Subsequent
welcome back to the slot machine, boys. Welcome.
Subsequent doses does not extend the duration of this effect.
Yeah. Isn't that fucking dumb? So listen what's going to happen. You're going to be spamming your Raptor. You're hoping for procs. Can't get a proc. Oh, I got a proc. Oh, so now it's basically stacking up to 5, but within the 15 seconds. As soon as the 15 seconds is up, you don't keep that 5 second anymore. It goes right back down to 1. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be praying to fucking RNGesus that you get as many Raptors as fast as humanly possible so that you have the 5 stack up. Then you're also praying again for Jesus to give you more Raptors during that 15% uptime. So it's horrible, bro. It's just more slot machine hunter melee shit, bro.
Are you
now as well?
Are you ready?
Stack 4 of those on the pre-pull before they pull the boss.
Are you ready for the best rune real quick though? TNT increases the damage done by explosive shot on all of your damaging traps by a massive 10%.
Yeah, wow.
That's gonna be huge in ZF, boys. Huge
Oh
in
shit.
ZF. That's gonna be this in ZF.
My level 44 explosive trap's gonna be doing 10% more damage.
Exactly,
oh, boys.
brother.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna
you'll be 44 right after the Gnomer, you know.
Okay, so
Literally, the best rune is the Helm rune that reduces your flanking strike by 50%.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go.
And it's sad because that's all.
Real quick, let's go one by one. So first, we'll sort it as BM ranged, marksmanship ranged, and then just whatever the heck melee hunter is, whether it's BM or survival tree. Okay, so first let's do BM ranged.
All right, we're talking about prog, right?
Yes, this is specifically for prog.
BM range is going to be S tier simply because we're a ranged class that basically can have half of our damage on our pet while we're doing mechanics, okay? Your hunter is going to be the class that does the mechanics during prog. For one, it's the range class that is the tankiest because we were male, so you're going to want him to do the mechanics anyways. And second, he does, like I said, half of your damage will just be your pet fucking smacking shit while you're going, clicking whatever, picking up whatever, doing whatever for your raid. So that's why I put a BM as S tier.
Do you agree?
But what if they make some of the boss mechanics actually pet dangerous?
Ooh. See, now I don't like you, dude.
That's like reduced damage inside.
Okay. But that's a what if. But in general, typically it's still the hunter that does all the mechanics, just by default.
Yeah, it's still it's. I would say BM ranged is S tier for the 50 percentile. Just because of the elimination of like skill ceiling as well.
It's for prog. It's for prog, not for farm side.
Of the player base, that'll be S tier.
Yeah, it's for prog Saito, not for farm.
Yo, more damage,
Oh,
less
for
mechanics,
prog?
bro.
This is purely for prog. What about taps?
I don't know. I think marksmanship I'd put above BM range,
dude,
but I could be wrong.
BM, you just turn your mind off and you're already doing half your damage with your pet that just mongos the
you're
boss,
totally
right?
right. You get to focus on like if
Yeah,
there
just
are
focus on
boss
whatever.
mechanics.
I can focus on leading the raid. I can focus on what the mechanics are, and I just turn my mind off and I spam. I don't even need to spam buttons. I just sit there and I arcane multi. Like I'm just like 1 2 1 2. Low. What's going on over there? What's going on over here? Like, it just is. It's going to be so good. I think.
Okay. Taps, what do you?
For that reason.
Taps, do you agree?
Yeah. I still think melee is going to be better though next phase.
Well, let's go.
I just think that for prog though, you have to think about prog, right? Like, there's so many more options for melee to get fucking smoked on mechanics we don't know, right? There's gonna be some crazy ass like melee always has to deal with the most mechanics effectively, generally speaking. So
Okay. Well, where would you
as long as
put?
you're
I
like,
agree. I do say that in the group that you have me and Teps in, one of us should probably go melee. One of the two of us.
Yep.
Just because we have 2 hunters in that group. Like,
Okay.
I mean, he can go BM ranged, and then if the fight looks like, it's free for melee, it would probably just be better for him
Yeah,
to swap
agreed.
his runes out and go into melee.
Agreed. 100%. I concede that fully. I think you would for Prog you would go BM, and then basically you're just gonna switch between what's better, range or
Okay.
range
So
or melee.
okay.
for the
So
fight.
where would you put marksmanship and melee hunter?
I mean, marksman brings a beautiful, buff now with true shot, with it being kind of improved as well for the range. But that range only affects yourself, I think, right? Or does it affect the party's range?
Party, or wait,
Party range?
It's
I
So
assume.
then,
it's in the
I mean,
party.
it's only going to affect the
It's-
other hunters, right?
I think, yeah, I don't know how we're gonna go about this. It might be
You put that in the melee group.
we
So
may
they-
have like a
small groups.
TBC where we have like a range hunter group. Like it might just be a thing.
I mean, you could also just
Especially with the amount of hunters we have
Yeah.
going into Prague, like who knows what our actual end comp will be.
It might be
like,
that you have one MM hunter with like 2 BM hunters in the same, and they're all range in the same group with like a feral and a warrior or some shit like that.
It's
wait,
possible.
Saito.
Yeah.
Saito. I know you joined it in the middle of this.
Yeah.
We're just making a tier list that has nothing to do with our comp.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
just making
well, I'm
tier
just
lists.
adding that in.
So where
I think A tier. I think MM's gonna be A just because the buff and
I
again
think
with
S,
all the
honestly. I
think
S
S,
is up
really?
there.
I think
Yeah.
top of
I think
A.
with their buff damage and plus how much damage they bring to the raid.
No, but we were talking about that though. Like the multi shot's gonna be rank 42. All the shots were low. The explosive traps like level 44.
So
All that shit we're losing rank. So
what
Both
I
that and then plus they're bringing 500 attack power to the entire group.
500. I guess yeah, if you're talking about additional across the entire board.
so
yeah.
so how I think about tier lists is like this. If it's an S tier, it means I can bring multiple of this. If it's an A tier, it means I'm definitely bringing one
Oh
of
well,
them.
then yeah, obviously.
This is
you're
this
gonna
is the
put in
at
also-
least one.
You want one in each.
If not
like,
more.
Ideally,
This is
you want one in each melee group.
I don't think you bring a BM hunter if there's an MM hunter available. The amount of the buffs that they bring.
I guess so.
I don't
Like,
think you would even bring the BM.
You wouldn't bring. I would
Just
think
a-
you would bring both, one of or like at least one of each,
I
because one
agree.
can do mechanics
know
and
what?
one's a buffing.
You know what's the beauty of phase 3 is we get dual spec and you can bring
Yeah,
both.
we'll test out.
flex. So
We'll figure out what's good, kind of in the heat of the moment.
My personal thought is I think that if BM Range Hunter is S tier, then Marksman Hunter is S plus, personally. I think it's just a little bit better, for sure. And I'm talking for Prague, obviously.
They're essential now. You have to bring them to the raids, the marksmans for the buff.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with
Okay.
that as well.
I'll put him up at S tier then.
Especially if there is a mechanic that kills our pet, then we're kind of fucked at that point.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be quite dependent. We'll have to figure that one out.
Okay.
And again, don't forget they're getting frenzied right now as well. So
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
gonna be pretty good.
true.
They're gonna be good.
Okay.
And
Prague. Where is melee hunter going?
probably right up there, probably A or S as well. Like
I
it's
actually
all
would say like B tier.
really.
Yeah, I would say like you would bring it situationally. Like if we know that the boss is not gonna it's not grief and we're not taking extra damage and like we won't wipe. Like if it's just a fucking 30-second pump boss, then yeah, on that melee hunter's fucking the best option out of the 3. But if it's like a longer boss, and we're having a tough time with it, I think you put melee hunter in like B at that point. Honestly.
It is more. I think it is
Yeah.
more dangerous to take up a melee slot when you could have just made him go range and give him all the other things. I think,
Right.
in comparison to the things that could be, I would definitely rather have a range for Prague than I would have a melee. Now,
Agreed.
obviously, it changes for farm, but that's not what this is about. It's about Prague. So I agree.
I'm
kind
just
of
thinking
with the B.
like I think I agree now thinking about it as well because I'm double thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking if I'm gonna bring a melee, I'll probably want to bring another warrior for prog because of an extra rally, or I want to bring a rogue because they're gonna actually start coming online pretty hard with some of the runes that they're
If you're a
getting.
warrior, don't even pick up rally.
Shut up, bro.
This guy.
We'll talk about you, bro. Don't worry. Yeah, I think we're solid with the B. I agree with that now.
Any other?
It's just like I think their damage is gonna be really, really fucking really strong if the RNG hits well. But we'll see.
Anybody else? Cool.
And also, don't forget they all bring kinks for Horde. We forgot to mention that.
True.
Correct. Yep, that is true.
Yeah.
It's needed for Horde. Maybe make a needed for Horde section.
I mean that there's
But
they're
regardless,
bringing
I
these
mean
anyways.
they're at the top anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, Hunters Horde must be love and life.
Okay. Moving.
Yeah, so with 3 paladins, we will not be running Lion anymore then, correct?
Oh, also,
not
we forgot to talk
necessarily.
about aspect of the wild for Alliance, because Horde has the totem, right? Nature resist totem, but
Sure.
aspect of the
Correct.
wild is going to be pretty fucking cracked. Depending, like, so I'm looking at it. I'm thinking that there's at least 4 bosses that require a lot of nature protect. So we
Don't
might
they
be kind
stack?
of.
No.
They do not stack. No.
They do not stack, okay. Is
No.
Aspect of the Wild better? I just remember running Aspect of the Wild when playing Horde on like
Yeah,
certain
first-
bosses.
Yeah, like in AQ and shit.
Oh, you know why?
We
I'm
have to run it's
realizing
water totem.
it was you're right. The reason why we ran Wild, now that I'm really thinking about it, was because we didn't have Shaman to cover that group. You know what I mean? Like we would stack
Yep.
Shamans in the healer groups or whatever, and then the Hunters would go in groups where there were not, that we weren't using that totem or whatever. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. They don't stack.
Alright. So let's move on to the next one, which is mages.
Damn, I gotta wait all the way to the end, man. I got 4.
Let's see. What did they get like actual changes? I think Frostfire both got a small buff, I believe. Let's see. Missile Barrage, they added Frostfire builds, Frostfire or Frostbolt and Spellfire or Spell Frostbolt to Missile Barrage. That's actually kinda nice. That's just a wording change. Deep Freeze is a new one.
Where's
Living
our
Flame
resident mage?
already got changed. I don't know
We
where
got a mage in here.
Code is
Lemon.
commenting on it. Code is.
Oh yeah, Code and Lemon.
Okay, so we got
How many mages will we be running in a 20-man usually? I can't think of what it is off the top of my head.
one sec, Saito, let me go over. Okay,
Probably 2 to
so
3.
so at level 52 is when you would have gotten Scorch, so they lose out on that. They get Firebolt at 48, so it's not the end of the world. They get a new rank of Frostbolt at 50, Ice Armor at 50, Cone of Cold at 50. Obviously new Portals, new Water at 50, new Blizzard at 50. Arcane Explosion at 46, Mage Armor at 46, Flame Strike at 48, Arcane Missiles at 48, Fire Blast is at 46, Intellect is at 42.
We also get Pyro at 48, rank 6. According to my add-on at least.
I just
Tell me
don't
when
see
to
it,
train
but
or
whatever. Yeah, I don't know where it's not here, but there you go. Whenever that is obtained. Let's check. Maybe if I check specifically Fire Mage.
While you're checking, Lemon, how do you think the mage is gonna be in phase 3?
I don't think you're gonna see it there because it's a
Yeah, why do I not
upgraded,
see
ranked up talent.
Blast?
Yeah, I think it's still going to be good, but
Ah, yeah, 48. There you go.
compared to some other classes changes, I think Mage has got kind of shafted with some of the runes.
Sweet, let's go
The
over.
Helm rune.
Let's go over the runes real quick. So, runes. Sorry to cut you off, but let's just
No,
go
don't
over
worry.
them real quick. For people who don't know them yet, let's check advanced wording. Increases the magnitude of your mana shield, frost ward, and fire ward by 100%, and decreases mana drained by mana shield by 50% per damage done. That's a fucking trash.
Hold on. Decreases mana drained by mana shield. Oh, okay, yeah, never mind.
It's trash.
I know exactly what it means. Yeah.
Deep
Yeah,
freeze.
useless apart from PvP.
Deep freeze stuns the target for 5 seconds. Insane for PvP. Only usable on frozen targets. Deals actually an absurd amount of base damage.
A lot of damage.
800 to 935. And it only does the damage though to targets that are permanently immune to stuns, aka bosses. And it is an insta cast. I believe it was on a 30-second cooldown, which is like, oof. If it's any lower, it'd be really good for frost mages, to be honest. And then Torpor anomalies for healers, and then for risks, you get a new Balefire Bolt. Unleash a reality distorting bolt of raw magic at your enemy, dealing X amount of damage, spellfire damage specifically. Each time you cast it, the damage of your next Balefire Bolt within 30 seconds will increase by 10%, and your spirit will decrease by 10% for 30 seconds, both stacking up to 10 times. If your spirit reaches 0, aka you cast it more than 10 times in 30 seconds, you will die.
Dude, so this sounds like this shit is gonna be insane for like speed kills, bro.
Yeah.
We got to
It
know what
used-
the cast of it is, the cast time at first. Before
Yeah,
we can
true.
Really dig deep in this.
Well, I feel like is it gonna match whatever your bolts are because it talks about being your what's it called, fire or frost, right? Or no?
I guess it at least has to be.
It would be it would just
3 or
match
less.
whatever your normal fucking ranks of your
Just-
bolts are. I'd feel like.
Yeah,
would probably
'cause
just-
it has to be 3 or less. Otherwise, you couldn't cast it 10 times in 30 seconds.
Will it replace your bolts? You would effectively just replace your fire bolt for that thing, right? Straight up.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
But does it do everything that your normal firebolt does? Does it put a dot on the boss or no? Does it say anything about that? That's a massive tool
No,
tip.
there's
No,
no
it's
dot.
not dot.
I don't see it, but the fireball dot is pretty negligible anyway.
Okay.
Okay, moving on from that real quick. Displacement is going to be the PvP one. It teleports back to where
That's
you last
sick.
cast Blink from, and resets the cooldown on Blink. Only usable within
Dude.
10 seconds of casting Blink. PvP.
That is so insane. You effectively
Yeah.
get
Kinda-
3 blinks. You get 3 blinks straight up.
I kind of like that for prog.
Yeah.
If like that's even a thing. Like some mechanics they can just deal with and go right back to where they were.
True,
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Depends on the
Oh,
fight, but
that is actually fucking cracked. Imagine that on like currently let's take it thermoplug for example. The mage blinks in, clicks the button, teleports back, then he's able to blink to another button.
You can't click
because
for
it
30
resets.
seconds. So,
No,
I mean,
but let's pretend like there's a thing where there's no cooldown or something, you know? Like they're gonna actually be pretty crazy actually for prog for that reason.
Yeah, for
They're gonna
prog.
be able to do some
yeah, I
lat-
don't think
like,
that's something
if-
for farm, but definitely for prog.
If that's if they can even find it before prog. That's the thing.
Yeah,
true.
true.
I don't think you
I
use that
think
for prog.
Not- not-
They
not
said that
everybody
you're
is
gonna find
rushing,
your-
but-
They said you're gonna find your runes before
Not
your
all of-
max level or
They said a lot of
maybe
they
not,
said
yeah.
a lot of them, not all of them. So
Yeah,
some of them are going to be
maybe.
at 50, some of them are going to be before 50. Also, we don't even know if the ones before 50 are going to be some long convoluted quest line that takes 2 hours or not. So, but you are losing Balefire bolts for that. And also,
Yeah.
the third option is Molten Armor, which causes
5% crit.
you to do fire damage when you're hit, but mainly increases your spell crit rate by 5% and reduces the chance that you are crit by 5%. But this does take up your armor slots, so any mage armor, ice armor, whatever it is, you have to
okay.
replace
For
it with this.
longer fights.
That would probably be actually fucking solid as well. You might take that depending on how Balefire Bolt is.
Yeah,
might just
and
do
I
straight up
guess
the crit.
depending on
So for
depending on
this,
how long the fight.
for this fire frost, you take molten armor, arcane, you take balefire. I'm gonna assume that balefire is gonna replace arcane blast, and then every time you use it, you get a stack of the arcane blast debuff. And then I'm assuming that at 4 stacks, you let it drop, and then you just keep doing that over and over again.
Wouldn't you want the Balefire Bolt to get to like 9?
Now, there's no buff for it. So you want to do 4, and then you drop it with like a missile. Do it again, 4 missile, 4 missile.
Wait, we're talking about the Balefire Bolt, the one that they just added, or
The balefire bolt, because if you stack that to 10, it's gonna cost way too much mana. Because
because you're losing spirit?
you
I thought does it increase the mana requirement? I thought it just reduces your spirit, which is your mana regen, right?
the regen.
Does spirit work while you're in combat?
But you can't cast for 5 seconds.
Exactly. So
Then, yeah.
the spirit doesn't mean anything if you're just constantly casting regardless.
You lose the mana from the 4 stacks of the arcane debuff. So if it takes up like an arcane debuff, like arcane blast does, you only stack itself 4, and then you reset it.
Good.
I wonder though, did it say anything along the lines of it would reset after 4 if you blast it? Or is that just how the mechanic works with the arcane blast?
That's how it works with arcane blast. That's
okay, got you. Got you.
Okay, so
I still think the 5% crit would just feed into your what's it called? What's the stacking
Hot
buff?
streak?
Your hot streak, and not only your hot streak, but what's the dot that continues?
Oh, ignite.
Ignite, your
I
ignite.
want to throw something out there real quick. Dragonkin, I think, in general in Classic, have higher fire resistance as one of their kind of passive stats.
True.
So I think that if that is true of the bosses that are Dragonkin in this raid, the mages are going to be really happy that we have dual spec.
No, I believe
I'm just throwing that out there.
How many bosses are
Gonna get rid of
Dragonkin versus just Dragon though?
like half.
They're all
I
Dragon.
don't
right?
know.
Oh,
True,
so
true.
dragon? Are you saying dragon is beast? Is that what you're trying to say?
Dragon is
Think about
naturally.
BWL, right? You couldn't run fire spec in BWL.
Isn't dragon
for-
dragonkin?
Dragonkin is its own subcategory.
They're
as well.
very
Okay, so then
different.
dragon is beast.
No, Dragonkin. It's a Dragonkin.
Dragonkin is
yeah.
like. I don't even know.
It's not a
Yeah,
beast.
but
it's just
is a
Dragonkin.
dragon a dragonkin?
You
It
can't
must
tame a
be-
Dragonkin.
so.
You can't tame one. It's a
Agreed,
dragonkin.
but I'm just thinking, a boss that's a dragon, is it a beast or is it a dragon?
I can
It's
just
a
check.
Dragonkin.
Dragonkin.
Okay, so in that case,
Like Broodlord is a Dragonkin,
okay, yeah, agreed, because
Correct.
he's, yeah, agreed,
whereas like Firemaw is a dragon.
agreed. But
So-
is a dragonkin?
Yes. Okay. So Dream
No,
Scythe is a
very different.
Dragonkin. Weaver is a Dragonkin. Morphiz is a Dragonkin. Hazaz is a Dragonkin. Shade of Aranicus
Okay,
is a
yeah.
Dragonkin. Other things are
Red
undead.
Plastic.
Or
So then,
humanoid.
what was our what were we talking about?
The fire,
Fire resistance.
Like natural
Fire
fire
resistance.
resistance.
It
I
is-
don't think
So
that's
a lot
the
of them
case,
are going to be
though.
fire
I
resistant.
don't think that's the case because they're nature dragons.
I think we're thinking BWL here.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm just throwing it out there.
It's a chance. It's a possibility, but I don't
Bro.
think so.
Well,
Hopefully
even more
not.
potentially leading more towards melee.
Okay. So let's go one at a time. Arcane, Fire, and Frost. Let's start with the one that people are playing right now. Let's start with Fire. So how do you think Fire is stacking up with its runes, new spell ranks, and new talent so that it can put it into?
So fire, it comes in a pretty good spot actually. Of course, you're gonna want mages for AOE. So if there's anything AOE related, you have that. Next, they're gonna be actually doing pretty good damage as well because they can come into the first raid fully raid buffed. So they're gonna have around 41% crit. So they're gonna be dishing out a lot of pyro. So that's a lot of damage that they deal out. Of course, you need a fire. You need a mage in general in any raid because you still want AI. That's huge. I think they're gonna be in a pretty good spot, but I don't think they're gonna be the top spot. I think it all depends on if you do have a Boomkin in the raid to give them that extra 5% crit. But I think they're gonna end
Isn't
up
it
in the
3?
It's 3.
Yeah, it's
3%.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
3.
3%.
Oh.
3%.
It's still fair.
I think they're gonna end up around the high A tier, just because of the damage in their AOE and plus their blinks, and of course their buff.
I can agree with that. Anyone else?
I agree with this.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think this is a solid fucking class, regardless.
Yeah.
If there's like some type of resistance, like they have 3 different effective, specs that they could potentially use. Obviously, Frost is very underwhelming right now, but
Yeah, just put that in F.
No. You're
No. I agree with me and Code are both gonna be like, hold on up a minute.
Hold on.
So we'll get to that last.
think-
We'll get to that last, but
yeah, but I think that this class in general is 100% going to be brought with like at least 2 to 3 in the 20 man, because especially with that blinking shit, that could be super awesome for Prog
oh yeah, definitely.
Do
if
fire,
they can find it.
Right.
in a 20-man format, do fire mages start getting the kind of ignite value when you have like 3
You
or
can't
more
roll
of them?
anymore.
Okay.
Oh, I have a question though for that displacement rune. Blink often takes a lot of your base mana to use. Like you're looking at probably like 10% around that to blink. when you're blinking back, would that also waste that much mana? That's the real question, because you might just the fuck out. Blinking somewhere, blinking back, blinking elsewhere. Like, you're gonna be basically just out.
I don't think the second blink takes up mana. It's just the
You don't
first.
think
No, I feel like displacement will be free or low mana at least.
I never thought about that because it could work like almost like a Casa then,
True.
where you're paying every single time.
Exactly. But we'll see.
Yep. Okay, so next let's do Arcane. So how do you think Arcane's looking?
Depends on what the differences, right?
So for Arcane, again, it all depends on Bale Firebolt, how that works out. I think it does have high potential to do very good damage, but we don't know, so we can't really say anything for how it's going to be for Prague. Arcane's really, really good for those short fights, right? So and now they're going to be able to they're going to dip into the Ice Talents and get their reset for their Frost Vein, so they're going to be able to get it twice.
Yep, Cold Snap.
Their Cold Snap.
Hold on, you're saying that Cold Snap works? Sorry, did you say Icy Veins can?
Not Icy Veins. No, it's
sorry.
It's the frozen one. The
Deep freeze.
Deep freeze.
Deep freeze as well. It's in the reset deep freeze as well.
Yeah.
Really? Would it not reset Icy Veins?
Is Icy Veins?
Yes,
done?
Icy Veins.
Yeah, Icy Veins.
Icy Veins as well. Yes.
Wait, hold on. You said it would?
Yes, it's an ice spell.
Oh
It's a
my
frost spell.
god, dude, that's actually nuts. So, okay.
But again, Arcane is also we're specifying that as a healer as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So currently we're just specifying DPS. We already did Arcane previously.
I think for Prague, you're not going to really see that many Arcane mages. It is a very easy spec to play though, so like the newer players couldn't come into a raid with that because again, every raid's going to need a mage for their buff. So I could put it up higher just for the newer players, but I don't really think they're necessary to bring to a raid because you can have fire mages and you're going to have frost mages as well. We're going to get to that right now. I would say Arcane would be probably like a lower B tier just because it's an easy spec to play.
Oh yeah. Anybody else comment? Specifically DPS?
So
Yeah, I think
couldn't they? So specifically DPS, yes, but couldn't you potentially throw off heals while doing decent DPS?
No, because then you would have to dip
Not
out
really?
a lot of
Okay.
DPS runes, so it's gonna hurt your DPS a lot. It's not like a balanced druid with like wild growth.
Right, exactly. Okay, I wasn't.
Good question.
I think arcane mages are actually kind of underrated right now. I think that they kind of blast in Nomer from a video that I was watching. This guy was saying that it's actually pretty decent. But I agree, low B tier, 100%. But I think that they're not terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be terrible. I think they'll just be worse than fire still.
Agreed.
I need to read Bale Firebolt again, but does it say anything about like when you cast it, does it reset the cooldown on the 30-second debuff?
No, it's 30.
Or is it going to be like
1 to
1?
Yeah. Every single time you cast it, it's going to go back up to 30 seconds.
Okay, so it could be longer than a 3-second cast, I guess. But probably not much longer.
Also, one more thing that could buff their damage is Curse of Shadows that we're getting now.
Yep. Wait, Curse of Shadows?
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's Shadow and Arcane. Yeah, true.
Ooh, good idea, bro.
True.
But again, it depends.
Except who
No,
put that shit
if
up?
Shadow
Exactly.
Priest, Shadow Priest,
the Shadow
Disc
Priest with the
Priest.
new eye.
Priest.
The fucking new eye ability.
We'll get to it later. But yes, you will have more than likely Curse of Shadows, depending on how it works, but you will more than likely have Curse of Shadows on the boss. Regardless if it's a Warlock putting it up or not. It probably will not be a Warlock, though. Okay, so moving on from Arcane, let's go to Frost, because I agree with you on this, as I assume what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Honestly, this idea came from you, and I dig deep into it, and it actually sounds pretty good right now. So, Frost Mages might do pretty well damage, actually. Deep Freeze is going to be pretty huge. They have a lot of good talents surrounding their damage. The only issue is crit doesn't really benefit Frost that well, so you're getting a kind of a wasted stat there. but they get a lot of good talents here, and the more you dig down this tree, it's really good like damage multipliers for Frost. You get a lot of like Frost damage as well. Like so, you have a new BOE ring that you get. That's the I forgot what it's called, but it's like the Ring of Frost, which gives you another 21 Frost damage. There's
Freezing
a lot.
band. Are you talking
Freezing
about
band.
freezing band?
There
Yeah,
you go.
that-
It's very
that thing's
expensive,
fucking epic.
but people are farming it now, and you can actually get it right now in the auction house. It's expensive, so you're gonna have like a lot of high rollers get that. But we're talking about Prague, we're talking about first raid, you're gonna have that. They have a lot of mitigation, so they're gonna do a lot of those mechanics. They have now they're gonna have their freezing shield. If you get that, the last spec, I forgot the name of it actually. Momo, if you can hover down. Ice barrier. Again, they're gonna have icy veins, so they're gonna have a reset on their cooldowns. So they're gonna be very tanky. They're gonna be very probably deal a lot of good damage too. I would put them same place as a fire mage. I could put them at 8 here.
I agree.
Wow. That's crazy. Good shit.
I agree.
I
I didn't
agree
even
as well.
mention ice block. Ice
And
block.
then on
could
top
just
of that,
completely immune.
I would like to know, Code, you go deep all the way into that tree, you get your ice barrier, but now what would your other 10 points go into now?
You keep it in Frost. It's a lot of good multipliers.
Really?
For Frost.
You would just fucking full 40 dump Frost?
Mm-hmm.
Holy
And
shit.
you're already- and you're
When
already
you
hit
go
that
into the
point.
arcane tree, there's the top left, top right one in the arcane tree on the first row, the third one. Go hover over that. No, on the arcane tree. Yeah,
Far
what's that
left.
one again?
No, it's
Oh, no, sorry.
far left.
That one.
Far left, yeah, that one then. No, sorry, what was the resistance? Is it only, yeah, to
Yeah.
all spells.
No,
The one on the
arcane.
left, right?
That one's all spells.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one. Would you go into that at all?
It's a.
Or
It's
is
for
that not
arcane.
too good? Is it only for arcane? I thought it was for all
Well,
spells.
no, it just reduces your target's resistance to all your spells by 5, but the threat part is only arcane.
Got you. Would you ever care about the resistance of your
Yeah, you
spells?
can. You can take out an ice barrier, so for more damage, you can do that.
Well, I still got 4 more points. Where are you putting the
Well,
other
you could-
ones?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. So remember, this is for level 50, right? Like we're working with an extra 10 talents now.
So,
What would your rest of your talents go?
so I built this. Basically, I've built out a frost mage. Currently, just from pure gear, you're already getting 4% spell hit. So you, or sorry, 3% spell hit. So you really only need 1 point in this.
What is the spell hit required now for level 50?
It's
Because I
still
remember it was
5.
ridiculous. Like
It depends on what the levels are.
Yeah.
If it's
That's-
close
They
to
said-
over, it's only 5.
They said it's only 2 over still, so it's only 5
So it's
until
only
60.
5, so you're yep.
So you only need 1 point in here. So you still got 4 points left over. So we could literally just do that if we wanted to. It doesn't really matter. And then if we wanted to, proof code cold or proof blizzard, if we want to, if we want slow, it's just, you got fucking extra points to spend. It's so good. The only thing holding it back, in my opinion, is I think going to be the cooldown of deep freeze. I think 30 seconds is a bit long, personally, but what else? I was going to say something, but I don't remember. Oh well. Yeah, A tier. Anybody else want to comment on it? Oh, months.
I'd agree with that. I saw also
Sorry.
Frozen Orb was data mined. Was that for 50 or?
That's your head. Head run.
Oh, okay. Instead of defreeze. Okay.
Oh wait, what? I don't see it anywhere.
So that's a portal orb. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this is
Yeah,
this is for
Frozen Orb.
healers.
Oh no.
No, Frozen Orb. I saw data
Yeah, I
mined as
saw-
well, but I don't know. Nobody knows where it went.
I
So
haven't seen it anywhere else.
So people think it's either one though, it's just data mining, it's not actually in the game yet. It's probably for 60 or something like that, or it's just not gonna, or it's just like one that they thought about doing but didn't do it. But it's not in the game currently, no, or going to be in the game as far as we know. No.
Alright, so that's mage.
Yeah, real quick, what is your mage, by the way?
Coding without the E. So it's KODEYN.
Like that?
Yeah.
There we go. So this is one of our mages,
Lemon shape.
and then lemon
Also in the call.
also in the call.
Oh god. Ignore my cursed Grubbus pulls.
Yeah, also in the call.
Can I grab us?
People commenting. These are the people commenting on our mages currently. So, next, let's move on. What is next? Where is it at? Here we go. Paladin.
Skip.
Reroll warrior.
No.
Skip.
Freaking Jervis, man.
Skip this one, boys.
Okay, so
Reroll
let's.
again.
South.
Momo, do you put tabs at the bottom of the video, like for each class?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I could, but
Yeah.
literally no changes as far as I can see in terms of actual changes. So let's just go to Paladins.
Yo, who's our pally? Is Cal in here?
Yep, Cal is in here.
Oh, our boy
I fell
Cal.
asleep.
Okay, let's see. What do you
Go
get?
holy.
So you get Cleanse, you get a new rank of Blessing and Might, but I could also say you miss out on a rank of Blessing and Might because it's 52. You miss out on a rank of Seal of Crusader. You miss out on a rank of Exorcism. However, you do get Holy Wrath. You get a new Seal of Righteousness. You get a new Divine Shield, new Flash of Light, which doesn't really matter. New Lay of Hands, which doesn't matter too much. This is for
Those
healing.
matter
That's
the
for
most,
healing.
though.
That's for tanking. You get Seal of Wisdom, I guess you could say, if you need mana. Blessing of Sack, Ret Aura 46, Hammer of Wrath you get as well. Then, yeah. In terms of your runes, decent runes actually, pretty good runes. Fanaticism increases your critical strike chance with holy spells by 18%. I believe that counts towards Crusader Strike, right?
I'm not sure. I tried looking it
It
up.
does now.
It does because
It
I'm pretty
does
sure they
now?
changed it to be a holy spell. So I'm pretty sure that does
It's all
count.
holy damage.
Well, I know Scylla Crusader that does holy damage when it procs, but it was always off a melee crit.
If it's a
So I'm not sure if it's
well, it's a
the same
spell,
thing.
so
I'm sure.
right. But there's that. Then there's I assume for just really dungeons and trash, you have Wrath, which is your consecration, can now crit. And damage from your Exorcism, Holy Shock, Holy Wrath, and Consecration spells gain additional crit chance equal to your melee strike crit chance.
You probably want to use Wrath.
For
Oh,
Over
we have Jackal
fanaticism?
here as well.
yeah, we also have
Yeah,
Why?
because it will reset your Exorcism cooldown.
So wait, where?
Yeah, getting an extra ability to crit
Oh,
with will
Lord.
reset it. Yeah.
Art of War is a boot.
Oh, Art of War.
Is a boot rune.
Got it. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, you can pick either of the two. And then for your wrist pieces, you have some other options, which is Hammer of the Righteous. Hammer the current target and up to 2 additional nearby targets, causing 4 times your main hand damage per second as holy damage. I heard Stealth or something saying that this is only going to be if you have a one-hander. I just want to clarify this. Is this going to affect if you have your two-hander?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
If it's a channel, then you're probably never gonna use that shit.
It's
Right.
no, Hammer of the
It's
Righteous is an
not a
instant cast.
channel.
I know you. I think you're going to want to
Maybe.
take improved
No,
Hammer
what
Wrath.
Hammer of Righteous is gonna do is it's going to, you're gonna use it, and then it's gonna damage a second later.
No. It says hit the target and up to 2 additional targets, causing 4 times your
Yeah.
causing 4 times your main hand damage per second as holy damage. But it doesn't say the
Yeah.
duration.
So you're gonna hit the target, and then a second later, it's gonna do the damage.
Interesting.
And it's gonna be like a dot kind of a thing.
You know what that reminds me
Yeah.
of? That one
gonna be
RuneScape
sort of a
weapon,
dot.
that one God Sword that fucking delays the damage.
So you have a
And then
dot.
What the hell?
Oh.
Apparently,
It's not even a dot, bro.
No.
It's like
Okay.
you
So
hit it, and then it's like bangs it up in the next.
it's gonna be like a
Oh, well.
delayed attack.
I feel like they
you know?
Yeah.
misworded it. I feel like it's supposed to be it's causing 4 times your main hand damage. I think it's meant to say causing your main hand damage 4 times once per second. That might
No, it's
Well,
saying that whatever your
no,
main
no.
hand, whatever your weapon damage per second is, it's gonna deal that damage.
Yes.
but it says 4 times.
4 times that.
It says 4 times
Yeah,
that.
Four
4
times
times
the main hand
your
DPS.
DPS, just like
Yeah.
how Devastate works now.
But then it says per second, so how many ticks is it doing is my question.
Damage per
No,
second.
no.
Momo,
Get the
Momo,
per
look at
second
your
out of your
weapon.
mind.
Oh, okay,
It's your
got
damage
it,
per
got
second
it.
on your weapon.
Okay, so it's not a dot. Okay, so it's just hitting them
No.
and then 2 additional targets for 4 times your DPS on your main hand is holy damage.
Correct.
Okay, not a dot.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that.
Correct.
And
Then-
it's instant.
Yes, instant. So, improved Hammer of Wrath. Next one. Cooldown on
You're gonna
Hammer
wanna
of Wrath is reset each time it deals damage, or each time it damages an enemy below 10% HP.
You're going to want to take improved Hammer Wrath as a DPS.
I heard.
Yeah,
I
giving
heard.
us an
I
extra
don't know if
huge.
this is confirmed or not, but I heard that according to data mining, it's actually 20% and not 10%. Although.
Yeah, 10% seemed too small anyway.
That'll be a
so-
big buff. Right now,
they might be buffing it.
right now they say on a PTR, it doesn't reset your swing timer and it's an instant cast.
Right.
So
Nice.
you'd want to take that over Hammer of Righteousness, I believe.
What about Purifying Power? So the third option is reduces the cooldown of Exorcism and Holy Wrath by 50%, and Holy Wrath can now be cast at any target and will
We
summon
proc Exorcism so much already, like crit wise, where like getting further cooldown on it doesn't even really matter.
So
In my opinion, at least.
An AoE ability that hits only undead and demons.
No. It says it
You
can
wanna
cast on any target, and it'll stun them now.
You'd want to use Purifying Power like on trash.
Yeah.
But that's
just explaining like
a good
the base.
trash round.
So you're just not going to use Holy Wrath then, because it says because apparently Holy Wrath can do undead and demons, right? But this is what enables it, so you're just not going to use. Okay. Okay. How about talents? Where you get new? Are they just like?
You get improved Seal of Righteousness, which will buff your Seal of Martyrdom damage, and you also get Consecration.
Yeah, Consecration.
Those are the two biggest.
It's pretty nice.
buffs.
Okay.
Since your consecration is going to be able to crit now, right?
Correct.
Where would you?
Why does Ret wheelchair? What the fuck?
That's just how it is. Okay, so where would you put Ret on the tier list?
But this is for progression.
This is specifically for progression.
Okay. Here's the modifier.
I still think they have a lot of fucking good potential, though, right?
X Factor coming and stuff. The X Factor is if you have manual crowd pummeler, I'd say B. If you don't, C.
But here, hear me out on this though. I'm thinking about it like overarching. You have a paladin in a melee group, which can give another fire aura, frost aura, devotion aura. You have another judgment on the boss. You have an extra pally. Like you could blanket style the raid now. And then also on top of that,
I don't even think on the top end, Rets were even doing bad in this phase either. At least from what I was seeing.
Yeah, let's hear Jackal. Jackal's a Ret main, right? So let's hear what you got to say.
I mean, they're probably like B or A, because I mean, like you said, they bring a fuck ton of utility. Having multiple, you can cover a bunch of different buffs. You have lay on hands, you have bubble
They're
for
very
physical DP or physical bosses.
They can also help decurse or cleanse or whatever, right?
Yeah, they can cleanse.
I'm gonna say for Rets, by the way, there are like half the raid is undead, and Rets are very
which is
good
also
against
going to be very good with exorcism and all of that.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like they're probably one of your more reliable classes to off tank, depending on how the raid looks. Because all you have to do for Ret right now is just throw on Hand of Wreck and you're good to go. They were just pumping. Like if you get lucky with exorcism procs, their Art of War, like you can see on logs on the top end, they're pumping. Obviously not as hard as if you have a crowd pummeler. If you don't, obviously they're gonna be shit. I feel like at this point though, like if you're playing Ret and you're committing to it, you have to have crowd pummeler from Nomer right now.
Okay, so currently we're planning on bringing pretty much ideally a prop paladin to the raid as well as a holy paladin's raid. That's 2 blessings. Does that decrease the value of a Ret at all?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, you don't really get to cover as like you'll have salve for Rets. You'll have salve, wisdom, and might in that case. So like it's not super diminishing because again, you bring utility through other shit like Bop, lay on hands, righteous or blessing of freedom, being able to off tank kind of easy and all that shit. So I don't think it diminishes it too much. Maybe bringing 4 pallies might, just because then you don't really have many other blessings to throw on people other than like holy or blessing of light. But even that, I don't think is even like necessary.
Yeah, with 3 paladins, you'll be able to have kings.
Yeah, that too. You can flex kings.
Your offensive blessing.
You're always gonna have a hunter though. That's rockin' lion. That's the one thing about king.
True.
Wouldn't you guys want to switch to marksman? Or
I mean,
chest rune?
Yeah, sure. I mean, but it all depends, right? Like if you're a
still have
PM
a
hunter
hunter in the raid.
You still have a hunter in the raid running lion, right? Like if you have 3 hunters, there's just one guy that has to be the bitch.
Well, not if you have a third paladin that's doing this, but I would argue that if you are going to have a BM hunter, they would most likely generally potentially use lion just for the extra stats on their pet as well. Because your pet will scale off of the extra stats.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so are we still with B tier?
I kind of want to up it to A.
I say
A.
A, just because of the utility.
The rotation too is also kind of way too easy now. Or not.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it was hard before, but like it's kind of like Hunter, where you're just fishing for exorcism procs, you know. So
Yeah, you want to make sure you can
reliable DPS, hella utility on the top end. They pump hella hard, better than some like most of the classes that is available to ally. Obviously, Shaman outshines, but yeah, I think A is pretty comfortable for them.
They'll do decent AoE damage.
That's
You don't have to worry about mana at all with Seal of Martyrdom. And another utility that they bring is that they can use like Judgment of Light or Wisdom to help. Like say a Fire Mage. Fire Mage might have mana issues if
Yeah, Zhao's huge. Zhao's gonna be huge for hunters as well.
Say that again, sorry?
Wisdom.
What is that?
Judgment of Wisdom. It
Judgment
gives
of
you
Wisdom
mana
is-
based on
Oh,
like,
my bad. Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, no,
But
wisdom's
you'll want a
mandatory.
Crusader though, right?
I would think that your holy paladin is the one Zhaoing, right?
Yeah, if you have
bring up-
multiple paladins,
Yeah.
you can cover every single judgment. You'd have Crusader, Wisdom, and then whatever other filler you'd want.
You're gonna put this guy in my group so I get Sanctuary Aura, so my smites hit harder.
Alright, would you put this so bottom of A, middle of A, top of A? Because currently you have Frosted Fire really on.
I think yeah, bottom of A is probably fine.
Okay. Any other comments on Ret?
Show the
You'll
reds.
see with no Crowd Pummeler.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother running Ret if you don't have Crowd Pummeler IMO. It's just
Or bottom
it's
B.
such a fucking fundamental right now. It's
So
not even worth to play it without.
so with Crowd Pummeler A tier, without Crowd Pummeler like C tier.
Yeah,
Okay, there you
it
go.
drops significantly.
Let's see who's the rets. Look up their blogs.
The Jackal and Cow.
Don't
Jackal.
look at that.
The gamer.
Calrissian?
Go.
Frost Mage 8.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Look
number
at Cal.
38.
I was just saying, don't look at
That,
mine.
that prop menagerie though.
The bosses just drop to Cal's voice. That's the thing, though.
Okay.
Well,
And
don't we all?
I still don't
It's
have
like my
proper-
pants.
What a shitty game, dude.
Okay, it's my turn. It's my turn. Clear the floor.
Your stage.
Robo has to turn.
Uh-oh.
Reroll me.
R.I.P.
Okay.
This is where we skip the video, boys.
This is literally no
Reroll
change.
this.
In fact, there's actually absolutely zero changes. In terms
Just
of
say
that.
it, Momo. Just say it.
No,
Show
no,
yourself,
no,
Momo.
no,
Say what we all know.
no. We're going through it.
Process.
Same exact thing as everybody else. We're going one by one.
Reroll healer.
So after 40,
Go smite priest.
So after 40, what we're missing out on is another rank of Mind Blast, another rank, or actually, yeah, just another rank of Mind Blast. And you'll see what we do with that in a second. We get a new rank of Shadow Word Pain at 50, which is really good. Let's see, those are all healer shit. New rank of Inner Fire, so we're a bit more defensive. Prayer of Fortitude doesn't really matter because we're not going to be buffing them unless we take that talent. New rank of Fort, though, in general is really good just for ourselves. We can shield ourselves with Power Word Shield, so that's a little bit more defensive ability if we need it. Another rank of Mind Blast at 46 pretty much is going to be our rank at 50. And that's pretty much it in terms of our actual spell ranks because we don't really use anything else. In terms of our runes are utter and complete dog shit. So let's go over them. If we look at our runes, we have Despair. Periodic damage from your spells can now be critical strikes. Sounds good at first, except for the fact that we don't scale. That includes our crit damage ratio. If we simply compare to Warlocks right now, I believe Chaos Bolt is doing about 1.4k damage, and if it crits, it's like 6k. In comparison, our Line Blast is doing about 800 to about 1,000 damage, and it's critting for like 1.4, 1.5k damage. It's really bad crit damage scaling. And so the fact that our dots can crit, it's nice, it's just not going to do very much. Void Zone, it's pretty much a Morgana W from League of Legends, if you know what that is. It also does equally dog shit damage, except it doesn't have the scaling where it does more damage the lower HP they are. It's just a flat damage, and it's really shit. Obviously, it'll be nice for dungeons, because it's just something to put on the ground, but it's not really much. I'd rather just Mind Seer. It's pretty much put it on the ground, Mind Seer, and forget it. In terms of our helm slots, we have Pain and Suffering, which is absolutely, literally useless, because it requires you to use Mind Flay, as Mind Flay refreshes the duration of your Shadow Word Pain on the target back to its maximum duration, except for the fact we literally don't even go on Mind Flay, so it's completely useless.
That top rune is cracked, though.
Oh, we're not doing healer, though.
Okay.
Eye of the
Talk about the eye.
So then Eye of the Void, which is the one that we're actually going to be running because we have no other options, is color an Eye of the Void to fight for you for 30 seconds. The eye can cast a variety of curses on your target. The different curses are Curse of Elements, Curse of Tongues, and Curse of Shadow. We do not know if you'll be able to choose it at first, so it could be completely random.
Or what if it's just all three? Maybe
it could be all three.
It just starts...
just like a monk, baby.
Yeah, it could be like a monk. We really don't know until phase 3. That's the thing.
You are playing Pokemon.
Basically, yes. Shadow Priest is the new pet class. You thought Hunter was pet class? You thought maybe Warlock was a pet? No. Shadow Priest is the new pet class.
I don't think they'd make it random. I think it does all three.
We don't know. But in terms of our talents, we gain absolutely fuck all from our new talents. And let's go ahead and build it out real quick. This is what our current talents are. If we simply take a look, we don't want another point in Improved Mind Blast because it fucks up the timing. We get an increased range. Congratulations. Maybe we take a little bit more threat reduction, I guess. Like, what else are we going to take? We can take 3 points to get a silence if we want to, because, again, we have nothing else to put it into. If we wanted to be nice, instead of the silence, because that costs mana, we could go 5 into either or, probably more likely Unbreakable Will. Get Improved Fort, so we can help fort our raid if we wanted to. Maybe if we wanted to play more defensive, get more shield. But in terms of actual damage, we get absolutely nothing from our talents or our runes.
You sound pretty salty right now, bro.
Just a bit.
You haven't let any of us talk, bro. You didn't let any of us talk yet, man.
Just because I know exactly what you're gonna say.
At the bottom of the video, I want you just to put Momo's rant, not Shadow Priest. Just.
We do get Fade, so we get a little bit less of threat. So in terms of what rune's going to be running, it's going to be Despair and Eye of the Void are really the only options in terms of our new runes. We'll be switching off of Twisted Fate, though, because if we simply look at the spell rank, is Mind Blast at 46, and we pretty much lose out on that. It's not going to be as good, as well as our dots can out-crit, which means Void Plague can out-crit, so the very slight difference between Void Plague and Twisted Faith now falls in Void Plague's favor quite a bit. Even though it doesn't scale very much, it still throws it in favor. The only issue is that you'll notice is that Void Plague is a little bit of a harder playstyle than Twisted Faith, so there'll be a little bit bigger of a variation on DPSs, you'll notice. In our hands, obviously, we're going to be running Shadow Word Death, Mind Spike still, because there's no really other option. Homunculi, again, because there's not really another option, and Dispersion. So, in terms of where I would put it on a tier list, what does it bring to the raid that other people don't? Homunculi?
Nothing.
Homunculi, because let me say, because everybody else is not really going to be taking talents into that, so we're going to pretty much be Homunculi, bitch. Obviously, a Disc Priest could take it, but for Prog, I'd rather have my Disc Priest take Palm instead of Homunculi. We also bring Vampiric Embrace, so we also help out our healers. We're pretty much a 50-50 healer DPS hybrid kind of a thing. Probably more like 70-30, except that 70 in the damage category is not amazing. Especially for the fact that we barely got anything in terms of damage. However, because this is Prog, depending on how defensively you want to play, it's pretty nice. As well as we can apply Eye of the Void, which gives ourselves Curse of Shadow. It's, 20% increased shadow damage or something like that? That's really nice. We get dots, so a lot of the bosses in the raid are 2 targets, so we can dot up multiple targets at once. That'll increase our damage as well. Well, most classes will only be hitting 1 target for a majority of the time, unless they're using like the lower things, but 2 targets isn't exactly most classes' thing. So because of the small utility we bring, as well as I think we'll actually be doing decent damage specifically on the bosses that are 2 targets, because we're using our dots and Void Plague and Shadow Word Pain that can now crit. Suppose we bring Homunculi, we bring the Curse if we want to, and we heal. I'm gonna put them probably
a little lower, a little lower.
No,
Little
I
lower.
think
Lower. Shut up.
Lower.
no.
Stop being biased, bro.
I'm not being biased. I'm actually trying to
You're
be
the worst.
unbiased.
The bottom tier, bottom
No,
tier.
you're not.
I
Whatever
genuine
the worst
no, because this A tier means you're guaranteed to bring them. S tier
for
means you're bringing
Frog,
multiple of them. So
Imagine
I don't
bringing
think
a-
you're guaranteed to bring a Shadow Priest. I think you can totally bring
Then
a
why
Disc
would you
Priest. It
bring
would just
multiple
Put it-
wouldn't be as bad.
Why is it in A tier?
I'm
Why
not
is
putting it in A
shadowing
tier.
up?
I'm not putting it in A tier. I'm just saying.
Put it down.
Don't
I'm
do
putting
B.
it. I think it's gonna be.
Shadow Priest
it's-
isn't C tier. Who is C
No,
tier?
so it's.
Stop
it's-
coping, bro.
No,
Why
no,
are you
wait,
putting it
yo,
above
is
an
it-
Oh,
arcane
you're
mage,
crazy.
bro?
You're crazy.
Bro, this guy is
Can I
constantly
say?
coping,
Alright,
bro.
Can I say?
For
Wait, can I
Frog,
speak
let's
on
bring
why?
the worst
Wait.
DPS
No,
that
you
damages
spoke
himself
for
the
20
whole
minutes,
fight.
bro.
No,
The video's
I wanna
at an hour long.
I want to explain why it's here. So I believe it's doing about equal damage. It's going to be doing about equal damage to Arcane. Genuinely. I don't think Arcane is going to be doing a ton of damage. And then it also brings more utility. So I think it's better than Arcane. In terms of the other things in the beats here, this brings Wind Fury, which is just going to beat it. And this just does more damage. So it doesn't beat those. But it definitely beats Arcane. So
You think it's gonna beat Arcane on multi-target fight?
Oh my god.
Maybe like if the dots are that strong, but you said that.
no, yeah.
You even said
If
it
it's-
yourself.
if it's
But hold
I
on, hold
think
on.
even
even
if
said
it's
it yourself.
okay, even if it's
Oh.
even if Shadow is 10% or whatever the heck behind Arcane, I still think it's worth better than Arcane.
But hold on. You said it, your own words, that our dots are kind of useless.
I didn't say
right?
they're
You even
useless.
said it yourself.
I said the crit rune. I said the crit rune isn't gonna be as very good as the example with the Warlock compared to Mind Blast.
Because your dots were useless.
No, I did not say our dots are useless. Our dots are pretty
Okay.
damn good. The crit scaling is what I said is pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
And because a lot of the boss fights are going to be 2 bosses, that means we get twice the damage of our dots. So I don't think the damage is going to be as bad as I initially thought, because looking at the actual raid, there's a lot of 2 target bosses. On single target bosses, it's going to be a lot worse. But on 2 target bosses, it's not going to be bad. It brings a lot of utility. And so, like I said, I think it's going to be better than Arcane. I don't think it's going to be better than a Feral Druid or a Survival Hunter, though. I cannot just
Would
fight.
you?
I
So
don't
then
know.
you
What
gotta
does
move
everyone
it-
else think here?
If Shadow out damages Arcane, then you got to move Arcane way down too.
I think it's going to be around equal, if not a little bit less.
So for progression, you're gonna bring somebody who does bottom damage and kills themselves the whole fight.
Well, no, they heal. They do way more healing in competition.
Okay, so
I
you
agree
bring-
with that.
So you bring it for the if you bring it for the healing.
It's a hybrid healer. Think of it as like an augmentation of Evoker, except instead of increasing damage, it increases your healing.
I mean, I do agree where you're
Okay,
saying
okay.
that this would be a really good, like class to put with the tanks. 100%.
Here's my thing. with
Because
Shadow.
you have 2 tanks, you're gonna be basically getting double the benefit that you were originally from this this current tier. Also, I do agree that ideally you're gonna probably want your priest to be more focused on healing. So the Homunc and the Void Eye and all that other jazz, that's gonna be very beneficial for the raid.
Yeah.
We're missing a big
plus-
point as well
plus
for
if-
Shadow Priest.
Go ahead.
So
I was going
a
to talk
big-
about debuff, Affliction Lock.
Well,
That
that,
too.
but we're also missing. So here, look, Shadow. They're not gonna be better than a, let's say, Fire Mage on damage, right?
That's why we have to look at
Yeah.
it.
They're
I
not
think
gonna
he's
be
more
better.
utility though.
They bring
So
bring
here-
more utility.
Here, hold on. So if they're not bringing any damage, we don't like. If utilities all they bring and no damage, then we don't really want them, right?
Well, they're
No,
this
we
is
would-
for
I think we
prime.
want
Thing is,
one.
if you bring them
Here's-
for healing,
Hold on. Here's where I'm.
bring a healer.
Let me finish my point with the damage. So they're not better than the Warlock. They're not better than the Mage. So usually most of these groups are going to have 2 Mages or 2 Warlocks or whatever. So the problem is you're not going to be able to fit that Shadow Priest inside the caster group with the.
You wouldn't want to. You would want to put it with the tanks anyways.
You would want it outside of the group.
Yes, you would want
100% with the tanks.
Yes.
For the healing.
So here's the thing. Again, you're putting it with the tanks. So you're taking essentially one of the physical DPS out. So they're not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're not benefiting from any buffs, right? So there's no point of bringing that physical DPS, right?
That's part of
now again
why it's in B tier. It's so like I said, S tier means you're bringing multiple of them probably. A tier means you're guaranteed one. These are not guaranteed a spot.
You know what would make the Shadow Priest instantly better? If they made some type of room where you could put Vamp Embrace on a target. Like if you could put it on a target group, that would be fucking cracked, bro.
But ideally, what you're saying is you're pretty much only bringing them for the heals that they bring off their damage, right?
Yeah, you're saying just bring another healer instead.
Just bring another
heals
and does wild growth or something.
Heals and debuffs, because they also buff Shadow Warlocks, and as we're gonna get to that might be actually a thing.
Now Shadow Warlocks will buff themselves as well.
Yes, but we also buff them with Shadow Weaving, 15% extra shadow damage.
I think Shadow
that's
Priest
also
are
that's their
kinda
Shadow
A-tier,
Ball.
dude.
That's
I think you guys are really downplaying Vampiric Embrace.
Yeah, but wait, what'd you say?
I think with the 2 tanks, and like I think you're gonna bring 1.
I think you're gonna be 1 as well. But 1 would mean if you're guaranteeing bringing 1, by the way, that means you're putting them in A tier, which means you're putting them higher than I am.
It depends if the eye is like very susceptible to death or like missing or resisting like the Homunks currently are. I really think that
I don't think it will be. So I think because it's calling Eye of the Void makes me think it's going to be like kind of like an Eye of Kilrog, and I think it's going to hit them with like a fucking laser from range.
It's just that any priest could use them, but maybe for Prog, if you want to throw them in.
Yes.
Super duper healing.
So
put them in the B.
So the point that I'm leaving out is that your homunculi, like let's say if you have a disc, right? That's bringing homunculi. They're like the fucking more damage, I guess, priest, which I don't think you really should do for Prog. But let's say you do, they're going to be taking Eye of the Void as well. If they're going full healer disc, they're 100% taking Divine Aegis. So it really depends on that. If you want your probably 2 discs to both run full healing, they're not going to be taking Eye of the Void, unless obviously we can't find Divine Aegis yet, or whatever, like they just don't have it. But I would rather have a Shadow bring these other debuffs, and I'd rather have my priest heal on Prog. I want to continue to specify this is for specifically Prog. If this falls to fucking farm, this shit goes to fucking like C tier. Like this is for farm. No, sorry, this is for Prog.
Right.
Sorry.
If the debuffs end up being essential from specifically a Shadow Priest, and the regular priest can't bring it, then you'll bring 1, but you would never ever bring 2 ever.
You also bring Tongues or Shadow, Curse of Shadow. So, like I said, so not only did you bring Shadow Weaving, but you also bring those to help. Either if a Shadow Warlock comes, let's say for some reason you have more than 2 Shadow Priests, as well as just yourself. It'll increase our own damage.
Yeah, and then it's like the Shadow Weaving do enough to just supplement, trading the Shadow Priest for another lock.
Also, we have Shadow Fiend Dispersion, which means that we're not going to run out of mana as fast as other casters, so we can last longer.
Yeah, leave it be for Prog, and then kick them out after.
Hot take is I think I'd rather bring an extra healer as Dis with Eye, and not bring a Shadow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Because I care less about the damage and just bring more healing.
Agreed.
Like that super hot take, I get it, but I think that's where we're at.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see
if they have an essential debuff.
That's why it's kind of why it's B tier, because you can do either or. It's not guaranteed. B means it's not guaranteed to spot. That's why we put Feral is needed for Alliance in this tier, and then for Horde we put it at B because it's not guaranteed to spot. This is like it's a good chance you can get a spot, but it's not guaranteed. This is guaranteed.
Good utility, but
a very good point. Yep.
And we don't know. Hold on. We don't know actually. You know how Homunk has different ranks, and it was actually Bis to have a Homunk in this phase. What if that's the same with like the curses?
Good point.
Yeah.
Right. What if the curses are actually
Shadows could be better? Yep.
Yeah. What if the cracked ass? It could give better curses than Warlocks even can. Then maybe then you have to bring one.
But
Like-
again, you bring a disc
But a
priest,
priest,
and
and
they
he
run
True.
that.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
But
almost.
for prog,
So hold on. What would you lose? What would
your
you
healer to
lose?
heal.
Hold on. What would you lose though?
You lose Aegis,
Which is
huge,
insane.
But
Wait, what's it do? That's like your dot. That's your.
It's the
your
critical
dot, right?
heals
That's
create a
the
protective
shield.
shield
Oh,
to
bro.
rate 30%. It's a massive.
it's fine.
Yeah.
though, because if you're just prog, you don't care as much about the damage. You just want the healing. A disc priest will do more healing, and they can still bring that.
Yeah, I agree.
I would still bring Divine Aegis for you. I would rather all my disc priests, because we only have 2 disc priests. I would rather both of them bring Divine
No,
Aegis.
I would say 3 disc priests, 1 with eye, 2 running full disc, and not bring a shadow versus 2 discs and 1 shadow.
I think you're bringing too much healers at that point. I think
then I bring a fire mage.
I'm in the camp where more healing's better, just to see the fight, and
I agree, which is
people are going to be fucking up mechanics.
which is why it's a shadow priest, because it's half healing, half
This guy-
DPS. I think bringing
Alright, let's
in
get out of
extra
this combo, bro.
healers
We're gonna
too
be here
much
all
healing.
night long.
What is
Yo,
C tier? You
We're gonna
don't
be here
bring
all
them
night
ever?
long, bro.
No, C tier is like C
But who? If shadow doesn't fall there, who does?
Arcane.
No one, basically.
All right, we
Arcane.
need to move on. We need to move on. This is gonna be a 4-hour video with like 3 hours of shadow.
Yeah, we're
priest, man.
currently
What,
at a
what
minute
does C
or an
tier
hour 30.
represent, though? What does C tier represent?
C tier is, it's gonna be hard for you to find a spot. C tier is like rogues this phase.
Well, that's definitely
What?
Shadow Priest then. Because even if
no,
even
I
if
just well,
even if
remember
you
this is
find a
prog.
rated one,
This is for
guaranteed
prog.
one.
Remember, this is for prog.
Yeah.
So
but
it's
still, I
B
mean,
tier.
there's
All right, whatever.
definitely
Keep
gonna
it
be a lot
there,
of
or else
progs that they'll
Momo's gonna
take.
cry all night long. Just keep it in B. There you go. You have it,
B.
buddy.
Okay.
Put 'em A. Fuck
There
it.
you
Speaking of rogues, we can now do rogues. Okay, cool, let's stay here. Cool. Is there anything that changed from this?
go. We got Sketcher. Sketcher.
God.
Yeah, we got
Rogue and
Sketcher. We
Arc.
got
No, no,
Code as
mate.
well.
Have
We have
Cody.
code. Let's go.
I know that you guys got your poisons. I would have mentioned it during the shadow, except that the poison that does armor shred is specifically requires level 60, which means we're not getting it until phase 4 if it does come out. So, not be in consideration. In terms of actual changes, it doesn't look like here they are. They're the poisons, but they require level 60. So, not in consideration. It doesn't look like any actual changes besides the runes. Let's go over spell ranks. 50. Crippling poison, kidney shot, lose an instant poison rank. That's unfortunate. I don't think you really care about the backstab because you're taking the other thing. Do you care about rupture? I don't think you do, right?
Yeah, you doing your
We do.
Okay, so then that sucks. Eviscerate, that's nice, maybe? I don't know if you use Eviscerate.
No.
No, okay, it doesn't matter.
Venom.
Exposed armor is there if you decide to, but I don't think so. I don't think you use Sinister Strike either, unless you're switching off Mutilate, going back to Saber Slash.
Saber Slash.
Garrote, I guess is probably nice.
That's probably actually it might be used. I don't know.
Ring 2 Slice and Dice. I know, I heard that was really nice.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's the biggest one, yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest DPS increase right there.
And let's go to runes. Let's see, which are, I believe, cracked. Except for focus detect. Combat potency. You have a 20% chance to gain 15 energy every time you deal a melee damage with your offhand. That's pretty good.
It's a pink one.
I think that's the one that DPS will be running. I'm not sure though.
Nah, that just got me excited reading that.
Focus attacks. You gain 2 energy. Two energy every time you deal a melee or ranged crit. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it's all garbage.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Then he added 0 to that. Even that I don't know. Honor Among Thieves. When any player in your party critical hits with a spell or ability, you gain a combo point on your current target. This effect cannot occur more than once every second.
It's absolutely cracked right here.
Yeah.
It's insane.
We got really good veterans other than focus attacks. Yeah.
It's cracked.
Warriors buffing rogues. Imagine.
Yep. Carnage. Your abilities to deal 20% increased damage to targets afflicted by one of your bleed effects. Or your abilities deal
That's also very
20%
good.
increased damage to targets affected by one of your bleeds. Cut to the chase. Your Eviscerate and Envenom abilities refresh either your Slice and Dice or your Blade Dance duration to its 5 combo point maximum. If both are active, only one of them, or only the one with the shortest remaining duration will be refreshed.
Wow.
Unfair
That is
advantage.
insane.
Whenever you dodge an attack, you gain an unfair advantage, striking back for 100% of your main hand
That's for
weapons.
tanky.
Yeah, that's more
tanky
tanking.
boy.
Yeah. Okay, so there's
And
that.
solo content, yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. Congratulations, you're back in a raid team.
Yeah, again, we mentioned that the exposed armor one is going to be level 60, so we can't really count that in right now. So technically, they're like rogues that aren't guaranteed a spot without that, just like we were in phase 2. But we do make up for it a lot with our damage, especially in the first raid, because of how cracked our new runes are. So
Yeah, the runes. If you could get those runes before the fucking frog, bro. Oh my lord.
So yeah,
Do you think they're gonna be?
We won't even
like,
know how to get them, probably.
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
They did
They
say
found the rogue runes very quickly in phase
yeah,
2.
They
so.
well they said that in phase 2 a lot of them were at like level 15, so that they wanted to make them more spread out, so it's not just going to be at level 40 for phase 2, but all of the runes are not going to just be found at level 50. They said they wanted them to be found before level 50 a little bit, and they specifically called that, I think, Balefire build. Like if you start a brand new mage, you might find it earlier than expected. So I'm not necessarily only going to find them at 50 and after prog. We might find some of these early.
Well, most likely, again, not everyone's going to be doing runs the first day. They're going to be doing it probably on Monday as well.
Sure.
So most of the time, all these runes will be found. So the rogue is probably going to have this, right, for the first raid?
Probably.
Yeah, unless you're going super balls deep.
Unless,
like,
yeah, which most people aren't, right?
Right. Yep. Agreed.
But that's an absolute cracked ruin that allows us to have basically 5 points every single time and just basically do mutilate, eviscerate, and then eviscerate with our relentless strikes, give us back full energy that it costs. So we're basically doing free eviscerates every 3 seconds, basically. So it's going to be really fun, really good. And the rotation will be very simple. It's just basically those 2 buttons, because Slice and Dice just gets refreshed the entire time with our other ruin that we got. So Muto Heroes are going to be pretty fun. Saber Slash actually won't be that bad with Carnage, now that their bleeds will do another 20% more damage. And then you put Rupture in your build as well. So they're not going to be pretty bad, actually. The thing with them is you got to wait till the end to get your Bis weapons for them to actually do well. So for progression, you won't really have a Saber Slash Rogue, but Mutilate, just for the damage that they bring, especially how much damage they're going to bring in the first raid. They're both their weapons right now that we have available to us. They're both even pre-raid Bis. So you're going to get the STV one in your main hand. You're going to get a quest item or a BOE in your offhand, and that's already your Bis, or even step in to your first raid. There's a couple of good BOEs as well that you buy if you have the money to buy, but you don't have to. First raid, I think, is going to be very similar to how this first raid went in phase 2, where rogues, if they were good, they were on top of the meters. So because of that, I don't think they're going to be S tier, because, again, you don't have to bring one unless you're bringing them strictly for their damage. I would put them at maybe mid A, high A tier.
Of Mage?
I would say probably below Fire, honestly.
Right there?
Right there.
Okay, and let's just clarify in terms of talent trees. I highly assume you're not running sub.
Yeah, you are. You're using
not full sub. Sorry, not full sub.
Yeah. Most points for DPS are going to be in the assassination tree. They're going to go down the Seal Fate, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the good news, again,
like opportunity.
In phase 3 is now that we have dual spec, we will be rocking both specs, the AoE one, or the cleave one rather, and the assassination one, so we could swap for each fight.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got unlimited combo points now, right?
Unlimited combo points.
Yeah, thanks, Jer, for that.
Jervis. Just crit.
What would be the ideal group for a to use that?
I thought about it for a while. I think, unironically, it'll be number one. You want warriors with Rec in your group. That's definitely up there. Rets also, they crit a lot.
Do pets? Do pets count?
Pets count, yeah. In Wrath they do. So it's probably going to be the same implementation. So hunters are also up there.
Hunters are definitely up there then.
Yeah. But other than that, the rest don't really crit that much.
Ideally, you're still going to put them in their buff group, which buffs them.
Yeah.
So like a Feral Druid, if you can get a Marksman Hunter in there for True Shot.
And also keep in mind, we have 2 world buffs that give 5% crit in this phase. So crit's going to be crazy.
We're going to be getting it every second.
Probably correct for you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
their pets get like 20% more crit or some shit.
Yeah, and even if a Ret Paladin's in there, now that their consecrations can crit, they're gonna be getting it every second. Honestly.
Yeah. We'll have a comp point every second.
Okay, is that it for Rogue?
Yeah, you wanted to know about the talents?
Did you go over them? I don't remember.
The talents would be pretty good. The extra 10 talents are just damage multipliers, so everything is pretty good for level 50 for rogues.
Cool. So top 8 here. Next is Shaman. I know pretty much none of us can amazingly comment on it because we're Alliance, but we can speculate on it. So let's go ahead and do so. So first off, Spirit of the Alpha was changed. The buff that you get if you give it to somebody else is no longer increasing your attack bar by 20%, but instead
Get fucked.
5% physical damage done and reducing all threat you generate by 30%.
That's right. Get fucked, Horde.
Lava Lash also dealing, it does, used to do 150% offhand weapon damage, now it does 100%, except for when you have Flame Tongue on your offhand. It used to do 50% extra, now it is 125% extra. I know this is not enhanced DPS, but I think it's still worth mentioning. Enhanced Tank used to be able to do dual wielding, and now they cannot, because Way of the Earth now requires you to have a shield equipped. Just thought I would mention that, because same spec kind of, but it kind of has an effect on it. So dual wield enhancement Shaman will now pretty much 100% beat DPS, and one-handed with a shield is what all tanks should be going now. That's pretty much it for actual spell changes, besides the spells itself and runes, talents. Let's go ahead and look at the spells.
Oh, did they get any positives, or it felt like it was just a fuckload of nerfs and negatives, right? Am I
for the changes?
Right on that,
for the changes, yes.
Yeah,
they just got nerfed. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Which I think is deserved. I know people are gonna be upset for saying that,
better
but
than everyone.
They were insane
and usable by half the game.
I mean, it made us Alliance players literally. We were like, should we fucking switch? The game is forcing us to switch, right?
And now they have to think if they want to switch to us for Prop Paladins, bro.
So something real quick for Shamans is they get Wind Fury rank 2 at 42. However, they lose out on Wind Fury rank 3 at 52. So I don't know if that's going to be big for Feral or not, but that's 100 DPS difference. 315 extra melee attack power and 229 extra melee attack power. That's a pretty big difference that they're missing out on. Rockbiter gets a new rank. Frost Shock gets a new rank. They get a new rank of Nature Resist Totem. New rank of Lightning Bolt at 44. New rank of Chain Lightning at 48. New rank of Lightning Shield at 48. New rank of Searing Totem at 50. New rank of Wind Fury Weapon at 50. New rank of Lightning Bolt at 50. New rank Earth. And then lose out on Fire Nova 52. Lose out on Strength of the Earth at 52. 52. Strength of the Earth at 52. Flame Shock at 52, Wind Fury at 52. So those are on a lot of ranks.
Damn, bro.
In terms of their runes, though, is where they freaking make up for it. Because in the Helm slot, they either get Burn. Your Flame Shock now strikes up to 3 additional targets. Who cares? The one that actually matters is Mental Dexterity, which is dealing damage with your melee weapons, increases your attack power by 100% of your intellect, and your spell damage and healing by 30% of your attack power for 1 minute. That's crazy.
That is nice. Yeah. A lot of their gear has a lot of what's it called, int and AP on it sometimes, so
it's really nice.
Basically, it's almost like they're trying to homogenize them, and you can easily switch between the two specs as required.
For their wrist runes, they get Overcharge. Your Lightning Shield never loses charges. Now has a 1-second cooldown and deals damage to all enemies within 8 yards. It's good for dungeons, I guess. I feel like it's more of a tank rune. Rolling Thunder. Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning have a 30% chance to add an additional charge to your active lightning shield, up to a maximum of 9 charges. Earth Shock now releases all lightning shield charges above 3, dealing their damage to the target and energizing you for 2% of your maximum mana per charge released. And then Static Shock, your lightning shield now has 9 charges, and your melee attacks have a 6% chance to trigger one of the charges, immediately damaging your target. I feel like that's what they're going to use.
Yeah, I don't know how much we can speak on it because we don't play Horde, but yeah, all you shamans, comment down below.
I mean, I guess that for Ellie, but
what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below.
I mean, they get more. Ellie gets more mana.
Nice plug, guys.
Ellie gets more mana, more damage to lightning shield, which isn't bad. Enhancement, I don't think really gets much, like, at all. I guess the concussion, they can get concussion because they get the instant procs. So it's not terrible. It's actually not bad. It's just the nerfs hit them really hard.
Yep.
If I were to actually rank them, so they're gonna probably be doing less damage to a lot of the bosses that are nature, like the nature dragons. They did also just get nerfed. I think Ellie was an S tier, and I think it's gonna be probably A tier. In terms of enhancement, Shaman,
I think it's still gonna be pretty fucking strong though.
In terms of DPS, the only thing that actually hit it was this, which is, I guess that's a pretty big hit. 20% attack power to 5% physical damage, and then they also lost some damage on Lava Lash.
For enhancement, they're like our Ret Paladins, so I would put them kind of,
about equal.
Yeah.
I would put them a little bit above that, is because how many buffs they.
I would put them above Frost and maybe even above Assassination because they're like they are like the.
I might put them above them
utility.
as well, to be honest.
Okay.
They bring utility,
bro.
Assassination doesn't.
Yep.
About that?
Maybe even above fire. Fair. Listen, they bring a lot of utility.
They do bring a ton of utility.
We don't know how much damage they're gonna do, and if they
for prog with the Onk,
true.
you got Onk, you got right. You got Onk, you got all the totems.
They got grounding totem.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might just be fucking S tier still. It's prog.
You would want, and they also Wind Fury, right? So they are like, you put them in S tier because they are your Wind Fury, and they bring good DPS, unlike Druids do for Alliance. They're solid, bro.
Yeah, no, it's just solid. It's just like Hunter.
They just got brought down to what they're supposed to be at.
Yeah, I would say S tier. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Ellie though, I would put probably like there.
What do they provide?
Maybe that actually.
They must. What party buff do they provide? I thought they brought
same thing,
something.
but they bring spell power totem. Or do they have? Wait, do they have spell power totem in Classic, or is that TBC?
I don't know.
Classic.
Also, with the extra talents,
no, it's
open
not.
up their tree real quick. See, in Elemental, you can now go into the improved totems and the greater totems or whatever the hell. The one, the third row on the left. What is that one again? No, that's not it. Where the hell am I looking? Oh, sorry, enhancement tree. The third row on the left. Yeah, you got guardian totems and then the one below it.
That's just for enhancement on stuff.
Yeah, enhance. Yes, but that is also really strong.
It's just I don't think it's as good as nearly as good as enhancement, because I think just enhancement buffs your party so much more.
Yeah, but they're still solid.
Yeah,
casters,
no, they're still solid casters.
They were topping some of the casting meters like underneath mages. So, like at least for overall DPS of this phase, I know that it's a little bit skewed based on the armor debuff, armor values of the mechanicals, but still.
Oh,
I think their DPS is solid.
Yeah, I would put them here.
Yeah, agreed.
And also, don't forget enhancement. You have to bring 2 of those in the raid, not just 1.
Yep. So that's why it's an S tier, anyways. But
and plus, you need
Maybe put them even higher in S tier, all the way up.
But hold on, Mike. Like, what would you have? Like, you need one per group because of totems, right? So
it's
you
2.
need. I'm assuming you need 2 enhancements, and then would you have 2 resto shamans, or would you do 1 Ellie, 1 resto? 1 Ellie, 1 resto, probably.
You would never
right?
do 2 resto.
Yeah.
Why not though? Because the chain heals, they it's not like there's putting a hot on them or anything, right? Like chain heal is fucking nuts, bro.
It is,
right?
but it'll be so much overhealing where you can have spot healing for all the other healers.
I think what if there's a mechanic that requires like insane rage?
What if?
I don't think you bring 2. I think you would rather bring 2 healing priests than 2.
Really?
I agree.
Okay,
that's why we put them in A tier.
You want a chain heal. You want a chain heal, definitely.
Yeah, for melee. Okay, I agree. But they're gonna be like your melee healer.
For whoever mentioned why is it at the bottom of S, I think you're bringing more than 2 hunters. I think you're bringing 2 on enhancement shamans. That's why.
I think it's slightly cope, but it's fun.
No, for every melee group needs an enhance. Like, not necessarily needs an. You could put like a fucking Ellie and scuff him up a little bit into a melee group, but you would ideally want to have. I think the raid's gonna have 2 melee groups. That's just my thought.
I like how he did.
Yeah, why would you bring
he
more than
didn't
2?
even fathom that you were talking about hunters.
Enhancement brings more value than hunters ever will.
And yeah, and you wouldn't bring more than 2 hunters. Why would you bring more than 2 hunters?
2 from.
I think you would bring more than 2 than hunters. So I think so.
I think 3 is probably
He plays Hunter,
correct.
bias take.
Where do you put them? There's just no place to put them. Which group do you put them in?
I see. You're thinking about like if melee is absolutely pumping, that you would just put 1 marksman in each melee group.
Yeah, you would put 1 in each melee group with the buff.
Okay, I agree. All right, let's continue on.
Let's not change it. Let's
Where
just
we at now?
continue.
Yeah, let's continue. We're good like this.
Okay,
What's
it's
left?
fine.
We have Warlock and
Warlock and
Warrior,
Warrior.
right?
Yep. Okay, so let's go
We
over.
have what's our Warlock?
So
Wait, hold on,
Mingler.
before we go, show the rogues.
Or did.
You already showed the
Or
rogues.
did.
Show the shamans.
Yeah, man.
wait.
Our
Show your shaman
non-existent
logs
No,
from
I don't
your
know
horde.
what the hell my shaman logs are. We're gonna talk about it.
All right. What do we got? Warlock. Who's a Warlock in here?
That would be Mingler. He's gonna comment on Warlock.
Mingler.
Let's see. So number 1 change for Warlock is that you Rain of Fire. It specifically gives you that damage buff, which has actually got buffed from 40 to 50%. However, you can't just cast it and stop casting it. It's specifically after you channel it for its full duration, which is a massive.
Change how long it lasts?
No.
That is fucked, bro. That's a
So it's still
massive L.
15 seconds.
Yeah, so they're cut.
Yeah, so Lake of Fire is pretty much useless now.
You would use the crit rune, right?
I don't know. We'll get there in a second. So, but that's changed. Explorer Imp. Don't know what that does exactly, but it looks like Rain of Fire, maybe, or something. I have no idea. It says you just travel through portals and explore other worlds and bring back treasures. So maybe it's just like a flavor thing, not actual damage. And that's it for actual spell changes. Let's go look at the new spells that you get, new spell ranks. So, new Curse of Weakness, new Shadow Word, which is actually very important, because I think this could be a decent amount of shadow damage in the new raid. New Ring of Hellfire, which is really nice for leveling. Death Coil, you get Death Coil. You get...
Scary for a level.
Another Ring of Shadow Bolt at 44, another Ring of Corruption at 44. Curse of Shadow, rank 1 at 44. Another Ring of Life Tap, another Ring of Rain of Fire. Create Firestone, Curse of the Elements, rank 2. Create Spellstone, another Ring of Curse Agni at 48. Soulfire at 48. That's a new spell in general. A new Soulstone at 50. New rank of Demon Armor at 50, which is important because it's Shadow Resistance. Curse of Tongues, rank 2 at 50. Immolate at 50. Death Coil, rank 2 at 50. Summon Inferno at rank 50. And you're missing out on, unfortunately, rank 8 of Shadow Bolt at 52. Drain Soul at rank 4. Curse of Weakness at rank 6. And Shadow Word rank 3. And then a Corruption at 54. In terms of their actual runes, we have Backdraft, which is your Conflagrate ability, also grants 30% spellcast haste for 10 seconds, basically a 10-second hero. And if you don't know what Conflagrate is, it's the last talent in Destruction. Second option is Pandemic. Pandemic damage from your corruption, periodic damage from your corruption, Unstable Affliction, Curse of Agony, Immolate, Curse of Doom, and Siphon Life abilities can now be critical strikes. So basically all of your dots can crit. Or that's a tank rune, so that's pretty much it for DPS. For the head slot and for your wrist slot, I'm going to consider this actually because it's AoE. Immolation Aura burns nearby enemies for X damage every 2 seconds and reduces all magic damage taken by 10%. Basically, it's something I guess you could combo with Hellfire. Which actually going to be pretty good actually for AoE. Summon Felguard. Basically, you get the Felguard pet. Or Unstable Affliction, which is...
Would that be for the Warlock tank, though? I feel like the Felguard would be for like the Warlock tank because, yeah, I think the Felguard...
No, Felguard will fucking pump, bro.
Yeah, but
right?
Isn't that more like a big ass fucking high health fucking pet, or is that the Void Walker? That's
Void Walker
really about that. Okay.
And Unstoppable Affliction, which is just another dot that does damage over 15 seconds, and if it's dispelled, it will cause damage to the speller and silence them for 5 seconds, and you can only use it on one Unstable Affliction or Immolate per Warlock active on any one target. So you gotta choose between that and Immolation. So Mangler, go ahead. How are they looking for phase 3?
Honestly, dude, with the nerf to the Lake of Fire, that's pretty bad, right?
Yeah, it sounds pretty fucking L for that, but they also were turning out to be some of the best DPS in the current phase. Now, obviously, again, melee was kind of scuffed, but they were like basically for any single target fight that wasn't under 20 seconds, they were fucking pumping heavy, bro.
Yeah, but you're losing that 40% damage.
Agreed.
True.
Blaze, I also have Blaze in the chat. Blaze, what's up? What do you think about how Warlock's gonna be next phase? Do you think it's gonna...
I think it's gonna be decent. For sure. Like Destro with Backdraft, 30% haste. You're gonna basically have that up all the time. You're gonna lose 40% damage from Lake of Fire. But you're still gonna get like basically permanent bloodlust and 10% crit because you're gonna go with demonic tactics instead. And we're gonna be fine. I think the Warlock Discord was saying like it's gonna be like 100 DPS loss for running demonic tactics over Lake of Fire, but I think we're still gonna be decent.
So that's for this is for destruction, right? We'll separate affliction and destruction.
Because affliction is finally coming online.
We'll talk about let's do destruction first, then we'll go to the affliction.
Yeah, Destro is by far the best spec, but yeah, it's like I think the Sims are like a 500 DPS difference between Destro and F.
Would you still rock Fire Destro, or do you think that Shadow might be coming up with
Nah, because because the Shadow Bolt in Corruption, like the last rank you get at, I think it's like 44. But Incinerate scales to your level, right? So, like you wouldn't run Shadow Bolt, I don't think, unless I could see maybe like in a cleave fight, like how Menagerie is.
Well, so what's the benefit though? Like, so how many targets before Shadow Bolt Volley actually becomes, because it's a 5 max, right? Would it make sense to do a 2 target fucking Shadow Bolt Volley? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Neither do I.
Yeah, probably not.
You need like
I think it's probably 3 or 4. Right? Yeah.
To that point, to the Shadow Destro point, I think we're just one phase too early for that. But I think next phase it'll be amazing.
Agreed.
For Shadow?
Shadow Destro.
Yeah. So where would you put Destro Lock currently? on our tier lists. Keeping in mind, S tier means you're going to be bringing multiple of them. A tier is like you're guaranteed one of them. B is like you're not necessarily guaranteed, but it's not like you're going to have really trouble really finding a spot.
Well, you're still gonna take them for curses, right? So.
Well, Shadow can bring them.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even know if you bring them for curses.
Right? You got to bring rack.
I think you'd bring them.
Yeah, you got to bring reckless. Right? Yeah, so that's at least one, right?
Yeah.
So
probably A.
Where in A?
Yeah, easy A.
Bottom.
I think above. No, I think above. I think it's gonna do more damage than fire.
Yeah, I think they'll still do decent damage, right? And you need the curse,
so where would you put
Destro locks right now in
but you have to, did you guys talk about Soulstone, Hellstones, summons, like
yeah, they have good utility as well, right?
Real quick, Mini Brain is here. We can have him put his 2 cents in.
Oh, yeah, I'm not the best Warlock to ask. Ask a different.
So Warlock's next phase right now in full Bis are simming at 1556.
Wait,
and that's without knowing what Felguard is going to do.
Real quick, we're doing Destruction and then Affliction, so specifically Destruction for this right now.
Yes, Destruction right now. With us using Immolation Aura and standing in melee range, we're simming at 1556.
Okay, in comparison to what though? Like what's
everybody else? Is that good? Is that amazing compared to the rest?
Yeah, I don't know what other casters are simming at. What's Fire simming at?
I think Fire was between like 11 and 1400.
Well, then we're supposed to be doing better than Fire.
But here's the thing: this list is not a full raid.
This is for specifically Prague.
First raid.
Oh,
Prague. So this is this. And I know some of you guys, some of the Warlocks joined in mid conversation. So this tier list is specifically for Prague.
I think you'd want the one for Curse of Wreck, and if you're assuming that we're not getting our runes, Destro is not going to do a lot of damage.
I would
because we won't have back.
We're still counting runes.
I would count runes. And there's a chance you don't, but I don't think it's like I would say it's probably a 50-50 because they said they're trying to give you the runes before you hit max level.
If this is for the week 1 Prague, I don't think Range Hunter is going to be that good, but that's just me. Different story though.
I love Range Hunter.
Again, it's not all DPS.
Should have been there, Daquan. You should have been there when we were talking.
It's not all DPS. It's also utility.
I mean, I have no idea, but I don't think I don't think True Shot's good enough either.
Again, it's Prague. It's not farm, so DPS isn't everything.
It's pretty important.
It's important. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's not everything. Yeah. It means less than it does in farm.
You bring one Warlock, right? So they're A.
Wait, so what the fuck does Marksman bring then? Like.
True Shot Aura.
True Shot Aura, and then also the ability because we were
and damage, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll head back to it after Dave. We'll talk after. We're just
we'll get to it later.
I was under the assumption it was like the whole phase though. That's what
no. Sorry, this tier list is specifically for Prague. Okay, so where would you put it for Prague? Destruction Warlock.
I think you only need one just for Curse of Wreck.
Agreed. You get Curse of Shadow or Curse of Tongues from Shadow if you bring one, but
I think above Rogue, maybe under Fire Mage, I'd say.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Blazes, Mini Brain, you agree?
Yeah, I mean that's fine with me. If you do not find the head rune, it's just gutted. Like, they pretty much completely gutted Warlock in regards to the Lake of Fire chest rune, so...
Want to hear my opinion?
Here's
the thing with Warlock, right? If you're the one Warlock in the group and you're not pressing Trust of Brack, you shouldn't be in that group, right?
Yeah, I mean, you 100% have to.
The only reason why you're really in that group.
I want to... Can I put my 2 cents in? I think they are going to be S tier for Prague, and hear me out. Soulstone, Hellstones, that's just... That raid utility is fucking insane. It's phenomenal.
Wait, but he said but you only need one for that. He said S tier is you bring multiple.
I still think you're bringing multiple.
Yeah, I think you would bring multiple though. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe top A
I
for
most for just an
sure.
extra soulstone.
For an extra soulstone, you got
So,
I don't know.
I mean,
That's
we're
what I
gonna
think of
bring
the second
multiple, right?
Yeah, I mean, for how good our warlocks are, we would definitely probably bring multiple.
They also have the option to go and tank with dual spec.
True.
That's
Yep.
true. Yeah.
That's true.
but that's
Yep.
that's
That could be your third tertiary tank, like when you're thinking about it. That's on both factions too. There's definitely gonna be some crazy ass fight, and if you look at some of the warlock tank runes that are effectively saying that reduce magic damage taken by 10%, reduce magic damage taken by 30%, is pretty. I don't know. It's pretty likely that there's gonna be some fights that are potentially
warlock
needing
tank
those
for?
runes. Yeah.
You dies.
They also heal themselves. So, and then on top of that, you just swap some runes around, swap some gear, and your spec is effectively the same, right? You can start DPSing pretty good, right?
Yeah.
What's up, Saito?
I think putting
Pick
it
up
in
my
Esther is
stream real
better.
quick.
Okay. Okay, so let's go to Affliction. So, what about Affliction, guys?
Oh, nice.
It's happening, dude.
I don't think it's there yet, to be honest.
Shadow Priest Dream, what?
I don't know if Affliction's there yet.
So the biggest thing about Affliction is our highest rank of Shoutable is level 44.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason why like Affliction I only know the Sims for like what we're looking at in regards to like full Bis for phase 3. In full Bis for phase 3, they are simming right around 250 DPS less than Destruction. The only benefit that you bring is going Demonic back, though.
Would you argue bringing one of them is worth it? Because it does buff that Shadow Priest. It buffs yourself. Would you think... I can tell you currently in the current phase, just them bringing improved Shadow Bolt buffs Shadow Priest by like 100 DPS.
Wait, what Shadow Priest?
Okay, so another thing to consider as well.
If you're in Momo's group, yeah, then it's the best.
Okay, bro.
Again,
if you're talking like week 1 before the new flasks are out, because the new flask does essentially a Shadow Bolt that will eat those Shadow charges.
There's also a spell part, a Shadow damage potion as well for 30 spell. There's for 30 Shadow damage.
Again, we're forgetting. It's 20-man raid, right? It's not a 40-man raid, so we can't fit all these extra little classes, especially if they have a spec that does more than them, and
that's why I'm
basically brings the same.
That's why I'm saying specifically. You said it's 250 DPS roughly lower. I'm telling you that it does about 100 currently at the current phase if it's in the same group as a Shadow Priest, making up. So I'm saying, would it be worth to bring a singular Affliction in that situation to where it would make it equal, if not slightly better, to bring a single Affliction Warlock?
Remember that last thing that I said about the Shadow Priests, where you don't have a spot in a group of them? And
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
That's no. So
you're basically putting.
I'm trying to say
you're basically putting that Warlock, that Affliction, away from the other casters, giving them buffs as well to be in that Shadow Priest group. That Shadow Priest you said is going to be already in a tank,
True.
Right? For the healing that it does.
You'd rather bring Destro.
You're
definitely rather bring a Destro.
Okay, so where would you put it in terms of damage? Just C tier.
First tier. I don't know. First tier, I don't think you bring it Druid, to be honest.
Yeah, this is like trouble of finding a raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely where we would go.
Okay. Any other comments on Warlocks? Cool.
No.
Let us move on to the final class.
Sure,
I know
let's
they're raring to go, but let's
show the Warlock. Show the Warlock.
I already did.
Warriors.
Yeah, you should, man.
Yeah, I should. So first we're gonna go over all the stuff, and then I'm gonna let you get your hats in. Just give me a second. So first, let's see. Wrecking Crew is new, so it doesn't really change anything. It doesn't look like there's any actual changes to Warrior here.
My brown boys want the Cliff Notes version, baby, and I could give it to them straight.
Well, let me real quick. Let's see. What do you get? So
level 50, we get Recklessness.
Yeah, so
that's all that matters.
You're missing.
None of the rest matters.
You're missing out on Battle Shout at rank 52. Getting a new rank of Rogue Strike, new rank of Cleave, new Rend, new Sunder Armor, which I don't think you guys use. You guys get a new rank of Execute. I know that matters. New rank of Overpower at 44. That's pretty much it, though. As far as I can see,
So
you're
if
just
you're
losing on a battle shot at 52.
That means everyone loses out a battle shot.
Yep.
If you're in
We don't-
guys group waiting 30 minutes for every boss, you're for recklessness, you're S+ tier, right?
This is
we
for
don't, we
prog.
don't need no boot rune. We just
We're
need
waiting 30
recklessness.
minutes for every boss.
No, this is
Mandatory.
this
Yo,
is prog.
can you go over to the tier list
Hell
for
yeah,
me real
dude.
quick?
No,
I take
That
it
means
from
I
here,
get
no.
brother.
So this is
I
prog.
get to
Wait,
use
no.
420B on every boss.
So we have
dude.
to go over each rune real quick because there's people that are going to be watching that can't see the screen and are driving. So
Okay, are you ready?
no, I'm gonna.
Taste for Blood may be some weird, crazy stance shit that you might use.
You have to
I
read
doubt
it.
Oh, go ahead, read
Yeah.
it.
Taste for Blood. Whenever
can't
your
read, I'm
your
a
rend ability causes damage, your overpower ability will activate for 9 seconds or 1 attack. This effect will not occur more than once every 6 seconds. Now you can comment.
Yeah, the other two are garbage. That's probably garbage too. But you might use it for some weird stance shit. I'm not sure if you're gonna overpower with a 2-hander or something crazy.
And you have no other option, right?
Probably none of these matter. A shield mastery is for tank. Vigilance is for, I don't know what I could say on YouTube, but you're not gonna use any of these most likely.
Basically, Jarvis is not gonna get this rune, just like he didn't get Rally.
It'll be Blake.
Yeah, this
Don't
fucking
get
guy.
Rally Cry.
Tell it.
Don't
This
get
guy.
Rally and Cry
Show
at
the
all.
logs.
Hold on. This motherfucker.
Rally and Cry is
I
garbage.
show this guy's logs first. This motherfucker doesn't even have rally cry on Menagerie. I say, Jervis, when do you rally? I don't rally. Okay, well, can you rally? I don't have it.
Complete
This
trash.
motherfucker.
Make sure all my
has
brown
spent
boys
the whole
watching do
tier-
not get Rally and Cry.
The whole fucking tier hasn't had rally the whole time, bro. Motherfucker.
Do we have?
I have no foot room.
Dude, I love it.
Wait.
I love
Do we
it.
have any other warriors that can comment, or no? They all went to bed, I think.
They don't matter. All right, let's go to the spec.
No, wait. We have so for next we have Rampage.
Okay.
Warrior goes on a rampage, increasing attack power by 2% and causing most successful melee attacks to increase attack power by an additional 2%. This effect will stack up to 5 times, last 30 seconds, and this ability can only be used after scoring a critical hit.
Yeah, second one, complete garbage. Another tank rune. Wrecking Crew may be good, maybe not. You want to read Wrecking Crew for the boys?
Your melee critical hits enrage you, increasing your critical strike damage of all of your attacks by 10% for 6 seconds.
Yes, now,
Wait a minute.
the
That's
only
pretty crazy.
issue, kinda. The only issue with the way this is worded is that it says enrage you, because none of the other enrages stack. So CBR, if you're going Fury, and enrage talent don't stack. If that is another enrage buff, it's not gonna stack. Most people in the Warrior Discord don't think it's gonna stack, so that will be trash, and you'll use Rampage. Even if it does stack, that might not be that good. Right now, all the sims are not accounting for it stacking, so Rampage is the way to go. But if it does stack, then maybe we use Wrecking Crew. I'm not sure.
Would
It looks
Raging
like
Blow
Wrecking Crew is the
maybe
way to
come
go if
back?
you go arms, though.
Okay, let's make sure we split them up. So we're gonna do either Fury then arms and arms then Fury. Just make sure you're doing split up.
Fury first.
Okay.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so Fury, Rampage is simming way better. We'll see how it looks. I don't think you're going to take Impale. I think you're going to take Flurry instead. A lot of people think you're going to take Impale. I think they're wrong. We'll see what ends up being better.
Where's Impale?
If you take Flurry, then you definitely take Rampage. So you would go
It's an arms
Flurry.
tree.
Got it.
Yeah. You want to build this or no?
Sure.
Okay, so you go in the Fury, you go Cruelty 5, Unbridled Wrath 5. Then you go 5 in B Shout. The right one. The far right. No. That's
No,
Demo
they're right.
Shout. That's for
Oh, B Shout.
that word I wasn't gonna use.
One of them
B Shout.
tankers.
Now for dual wield, we're doing Fury. You're gonna go 4 in that, and then max out in Rage. You're gonna take Death Wish, and then you're gonna put 3 points in Flurry. That's all you can afford, unfortunately. Then in Arms, you're gonna take Improve Rend and Improve Heroic Strike. 3 out of 3. 4 in Tack Mastery. You could take charge if you want. It really doesn't matter. And then 3 in deep wounds. That's like your best talent in the whole game. Deep wounds, especially if you have a druid that's gonna mangle. That shit is cracked. This is the talent build. All you change for arms is you go cleave instead of dual hand specialization because you don't even need the offhand.
Okay, so you still go into flurry, or sorry, for fury, even if you're playing arms.
Arms or fury is basically identical. You just don't need the offhand damage, so you could take like improve executing, improve cleave, or some garbage.
Okay, so for prog, let me clarify that. For prog, because I know you wanted to farm, where would you put? Let's just do fury first. Where would you put fury?
Fury S tier, very
You
easy.
you think you bring multiple of them?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Arms also S tier, and then everything A and down, change it to reroll warrior on the tier list. Go ahead.
Anybody else want to comment on this?
No, he's right. Reroll warrior.
Unironically, he's right about them being S tier.
And you could put
you bring
maybe
multiple
in
because there's multiple melee.
Whoever
groups,
made
so-
it this far in the video, maybe they could put a timestamp in the comments that say just skip to warrior if you're a melee DPS.
True.
Except rogues are going to do more damage than warrior, so I mean,
No,
that is how it is.
Arms
so.
is simming pretty close to Fury. You just have to get Tail of Veranicus for you to sim that close. You want to go Fury in the
Dude,
beginning.
that sword's insane.
Just make sure you get it you get Prio on it over to Ret Paladins because they don't need it.
Oh my god, dude. If you give a Ret Paladin that over a warrior, you're fucking trolling.
Yeah.
What about an enhancement shaman?
We
Trolling.
get all of them.
They can't use swords.
I can't
I
speak
don't
on
know.
the.
Maybe you give it to enhance. I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't speak on the.
They can't
horror.
use swords.
They can't use swords.
Okay, so
Oh, they
Oh,
can't.
they're out.
Okay.
okay.
What about melee?
Real quick, are we good? Are
No.
we good with what warriors are?
Absolutely, you gotta move everybody
Okay,
else down. 'cause
so
they push
now
the rest
now that we've placed everything originally, let's take a look at the tier list again. Is there anything what we want to move? The first thing I'm going to suggest is moving Fire Mage up because I think we bring more than one. Well, actually, no. If we're bringing a Frost, maybe.
Move Frost down.
Why?
Ret gotta go down. Shadow, Arcane. Put it in C.
I don't think you bring multiple frosts. I don't know why you
Well,
would.
A is one.
No, you're.
Oh, one? Oh, sorry.
S is more than one.
Wait, so then why would you bring a frost over another fire mage?
Ooh, you missed that talk.
Yeah, Code, you hear?
How do you have? Would you have 2 marksmen and 2 BM hunters?
No,
Or
I
you
would say
have-
put the BM to A then. You would have 2 marksmen, you would have maybe 1 BM. But yeah.
Agreed.
So 3 hunters, 8 warriors, and then the rest healers and.
Well, where's your ferals, bro? You need your fucking Wind Fury, bro.
Yeah, 1 pharaoh.
Okay, what else? Anything else? We only bring in one fire.
You wanna know what the Fury Warrior sims at?
So.
Okay.
2200, baby.
Christ.
Get that weak Destro shit out of here, man.
Is that yeah? But is that with full gear though?
All
I mean,
your
so is
gear,
Destro.
almost
Yeah,
all
bro.
your gear. You
It's
don't
gonna be
even need to do the
disgusting
raid
on
for
the
it.
fights that are 2 targeted, bro. They're gonna be cleaving the fuck
True,
out
It's
of
like
shit,
it's
bro.
like it's like
Yo, guys,
2500.
It's a wet dream, bro.
Should I just be
It's
leveling
like
my warrior?
it's like
dude?
2500 on the cleave fights.
Is it
It
warrior
depends
time
on the
now?
armor.
I
I'm running
think it
that
might
high
be.
armor.
It's always
warrior
round time, bud.
No,
If
no,
it's
no.
low
It wasn't
armor-
warrior time last
Oh
phase,
my
What do you
dude.
God.
wait? What do you mean? It's not warrior time. Dice's hunter is gonna be the best, bro.
Okay.
Chill out.
Wait.
Without
For
fist
Prague,
weapon.
I think for Prague.
Yeah.
I think Hunter's gonna be super strong for Prague.
So
So I just level this for week 1, and then I put it in the trash, right? And then I just play my warrior.
Effective.
This is what's
Yes.
gonna happen if there's cleave fights, like 2 target fights, and armor values are like where Visk and Grub are, as opposed to like where Mechanir is. They are going to have to nerf warriors 1000%.
Right, because you're just gonna smash into fucking battle stance real quick. Hit
I
your
feel like they're
fucking
gonna do
sweeping
some weird
strike.
shit with the 2 target fights where you're gonna have to split them up because there's no shot, or else Warriors just gonna take over the
If it's
throne.
cleave fight and they have like 2,000, 3,000 armor, they're gonna have to nerf warriors.
is there anything else anybody else finds issue with?
Yeah, warriors, from what I'm hearing.
No, like in terms of like where they are in the tier list. Good?
I think Shadow Priest has to
Shut
move
the fuck
down.
up. Okay, we're done.
Dang.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of the normal stuff. If you want to ask a question
Mage sucks.
to any specific person in this call, leave it in the comments. I'll tell them about it. And I'll give them a response in a form of a comment and a reply. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.